Okay, I think we are live. I'm not 100% sure if I've done this correctly, so I hope it's right. But we'll get started here in just a second, talking a little bit about this upcoming game two. I'm super excited for. Uh, Royals got that big win in game one. I got a couple things to do here to set up for anybody who's a little early. Uh, so don't mind all the typing and all that stuff. Uh, let's see if I can get this. Oh. All right. Hello, everyone. Right now, there's currently one person watching. That could be me. Uh, get Mike out of school. The youth can wait. I agree. uh, so, what do we need Mike for? Is the real question. I don't think we need him at all. And so, let's talk a little bit about what the Royals can do here today to get get a win. I think there's the chat. Got the chat open. That's good. Nice. Okay. Travis, thank you so much for being here, Travis. Mason, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. You're right. The youths can wait, Mason. What do they need to learn in school that they couldn't learn from right here at Royals Weekly, honestly? I mean, everybody needs to learn about baseball. Everybody needs to learn about the facts of life, which I feel like was what we're really teaching here. It takes the good, it takes the bad, it takes them all, and there you have. Anyway, uh, so interesting things coming into game two. As you know, the lineup was announced earlier today. I have some thoughts on who's going to be playing in this game. I also want to point out the interesting contrast here, or rather, not at all contrast, between the two starting pitchers. We have Seth Lugo going for the Royals, Zach Eflin going for the Orioles. Both very similar pitchers, both right-handers who don't throw overly hard, who have a variety of pitches, and who sort of live with command. They live off command. Eflin will not strike that many guys out. I don't think his strikeout rate is even over 20% this year, which is pretty low, but he also has one of the lowest walk rates in all of baseball. And so he's going to rely a little bit on command, on getting weak contact, on ground balls. He gets quite a few of those. A lot like Lugo. Lugo doesn't strike out the world. He relies a little bit on soft contact, mixing pitches up, and locating really well. And so it'll be interesting to see those two because they'll be very similar in style going up against these two lineups. Of course, the two lineups themselves are very different. The Orioles, a very powerful lineup, top to bottom, very deep, full of guys who can put the ball out of the yard. They weren't able to show any of that power yesterday. They got shut out 1-0. But today, you have to wonder, does Lugo set up a little bit worse than Cole Reagans does against this team, given that he doesn't have elite velocity? He's not left-handed. There is a narrative out there that seems to be forming that the Orioles are worse against lefties than they are against righties. That's not actually true over the course of the season. Over the course of the season, they have exactly the same performance against lefties as righties in terms of weighted runs created plus. They are 115 against both lefties and righties. And so we'll see if that bears out that they have more success against a righty tonight than they did a lefty yesterday, but that's not hasn't been the case over the course of the season. For the lineup today, it'll be Massey at second base uh, and batting leadoff, Bobby Witt Jr. batting second at shortstop, Vinny Pasquantino at DH batting third, Salvador Perez at catcher batting fourth, Yuli Gurriel at first base batting fifth, MJ Melendez in left field batting sixth, Hunter Renfroe in right field batting seventh. I almost said Jason Isbell, but it's Kyle Isbell in center field batting eighth, and then Michael Garcia batting ninth at third base. This was an interesting lineup. There were some real decisions to make with this one. But one of the things a couple people pointed out, there was some anger over the notion of Melendez in the lineup today. I don't understand that, honestly. Melendez is actually perfect for this lineup the way it is because he hits right-handers a lot better than left-handers, because he has a 514 slugging percentage this year against right-handed cutters. And so you can see he has uh, the ability to produce some power against right-handed cutters and against righties. And so, yeah, absolutely, the Royals should be playing MJ Melendez today. I'm going to try and share this link with everybody, so anybody who wants to join can join us today. So give me 1 second while I do that. Also, yeah, so MJ in left field makes a ton of sense to me because hey, you never know. They could he could end up running into one and knocking one out of this very small ballpark, especially from a guy who only throws his cutter. I think averages around 89 miles an hour, which is real slow for Major League Baseball these days. And so, you know, uh, there's a decent chance he runs into one and hits one out of the ballpark. I'm also glad that they put Hunter Renfroe in this lineup towards the bottom of it, but we've as we've talked about many times throughout the year, Renfro's strength is hitting dudes who don't throw with elite velocity, and Eflin does not throw with elite velocity. And so if you have a righty up, you're facing a righty, then you definitely want. And he doesn't throw harder than what, like 91 with his four seam maybe, and then 89 with the pitch he throws most, the cutter. Then yeah, absolutely, I want Hunter Renfroe in that lineup because he could produce some power outcomes for me. And honestly, with Renfroe, we've seen him produce some of that power outcomes to the opposite field, where it's going to be a little bit easier to hit the ball out in Camden Yards than it will to left field. They moved the fences back in left field a couple of years ago, and as a result, it's a little harder to get them out to the pull side for right-handers, but a little easier to get it out to the right field side for right-handers. And so, because Renfroe has the capacity to produce some power to all fields, it'll be great to see him against a soft tossing righty, which is his best demographic of pitcher to face. So that's really good to see. I'm really glad the tech is working out. One aspect of the tech that you need to understand is Mark watches these on the janky streams. And so he may be a little bit behind your broadcast because, as you know, the janky streams got to run all the way around the world through some server in Istanbul or something before they end up over here so that I can watch it. I tried to make an ESPN thing work, but it did not work as well as I'd hoped it would. Mike might be trying to get into here right now. Not entirely sure. No, it doesn't look like he is. He's still at school, but he'll be joining us here in a moment. And then this broadcast will get a little bit more Mike-ified with all of his eccentricities and so forth. And so I'm pretty sure, yes, I can. Let's talk a little bit about, woo, that is really loud in my headphones. Let's talk a little bit about what we think Seth Lugo might try to do against this lineup. Interestingly, for Matt Cottrero and for Brian Sweeney and that group, I think the big question for Lugo is what's he going to do against the left-handers that they put in this lineup? How is he going to throw pitches that can work away from these left-handers and stay away from their left-handed pull power? Because as we mentioned, Lugo is not a fireballer. Yes, Ricardo, I assume he may be mowing down students to get to the game in any day now, or any minute now. He's also getting a flu shot right after school. So he was like getting the teaching flu shot and then running really quickly to his house. Not literally running because he can't run at all, but figuratively running. Here we go. First pitch. All right. Massey, an interesting choice as a leadoff hitter. I think it's going to be the case against the right-handers in this rotation, but I seriously doubt he would ever lead off against a lefty. Massey's the interesting one to me here because we know he's got tremendous pull power. We've seen him pull a bunch of balls out of places like the stadium in Chicago and Yankee Stadium and stuff like that. So I would not be shocked if sometime today or if they end up playing the game tomorrow, if Massey doesn't end up pulling one out of this ballpark. I wouldn't be surprised. Gets down 0-2, not a traditional leadoff guy. Very much a new age kind of leadoff guy and a leadoff guy out of desperation as much as anything. Oh, you'll be happy to hear I do have provisions, a whole thing full of Oreos. So that's we're good on snacks here. Ooh, that curveball was a little bit closer than than it looked. Oh, that's a fair ball. That's extra base hit to lead off a game. You love to see that. One of the probably under discussed aspects of this matchup is the fact that the Orioles do not have a great defense. Uh, I think we mentioned on our episode on Monday, 20th in defensive runs saved in the second half. Mountcastle's not a terrible first baseman, but he's not a great first baseman either. And so you see him there. That ball gets by him. You guys think I have the capacity to do this and live tweet the game? Can I do all three? See, I would have liked to see Bobby be a little bit more patient there. I know he'll be semi happy with the notion of moving the runner over, but you're Bobby Witt Jr. You're the power of this lineup. I want to see more waiting for premium pitch here, and that was a well located fastball up and inside. So yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not the worst outcome, but it's not exactly what you would love to see here. Now we'll see if Vinny can get back to his RBI ways. I'm happy to see you're here, Josh Q. And I'm happy to see the technology seems to be working. That's always my greatest fear. Uh, nice. Vinny with a base hit. Let's get him going. Let's get him going. That would be a huge boon to this offense. That was some textbook. I know we maybe want more out of Bobby in terms of going deeper into counts and swinging at premium pitches, but that's like textbook scoring a run here. Extra base hit, move a runner over, little base hit, and boom. Yikes. Let's see it here. Let's see it. Ooh, real quick. We're going to call this. Those breaking balls away, I tell you. Eflin has a good sweeper, as you can see there, but he doesn't get a ton of strikeouts, and so hopefully the Royals can put a whole bunch of balls in play today. Looks like he's pressing. Yeah, I mean, Salvi can always look like he's pressing because he's so aggressive in what he does. It can be maddening. But at the same time, if somebody throws him a pitch in this game that he can get a hold of, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a hold and puts one out because he's the type, like a normal hitter. I would just be like, oh, this guy's hot, this guy's cold, this guy's pressing, this guy's not. Salvador Perez, because of his incredible hand-eye coordination and plate coverage, at any given time, a ball gets over the plate and he has the capacity to hit it really hard. I thought he was hitting pretty well to end the season. And so if he can just remind himself that he has better outcomes when he is swinging at pitches inside the strike zone, he'll be fine. And it's going to be tough for him anyway because it's all right-handers here. They're all throwing sliders and cutters that run away from him, and those are the things he really struggles with. It's understanding what pitches are going to be on the outside and what pitches are going to be well outside the strike zone. That's his biggest weakness as a hitter. I mean, contrast that with Gurriel right there on that 2-1 pitch, 90-mile-an-hour fastball or cutter, and he chooses not to swing because it's on the edge. That's a good call either way. Yeah, he's 2 strikes now, but he wasn't going to do anything with that anyway. And so now he's worked it back to full. Mm. Working him for 18 pitches already in this inning, though. That's good news. Ooh, that was close. All right. One run, and they worked him for 19 pitches that inning. You love to see that because this Orioles bullpen definitely not a excellent unit for the Orioles there. And so the more you can do to work to get him out after 5, the better your chances of getting some runs there in the 6th, 7th, or 8th. Love to see that. All right, crack open your Oreos if you got them, you know. I'm also here to answer any questions you have about life. The interesting thing about the Gurriel hamstring injury, the second I saw him starting to run like full bore, oh, here's Mike. Mike's
What's
here.
up? What's up?
Not much. Just entertaining the masses eating Oreos.
Just eating Oreos like a tubby, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are we live right now? Have you checked?
Oh yeah.
Are there people? I need to get on YouTube. I haven't.
Open the
gotten
chat.
on YouTube.
There are people in the chat talking to us.
Oh, cool.
Mason asks, if I go to law school at UMKC, can we hang out?
Anytime, Mason. His time is meaningless and cheap, and so you can have it. You can just take it all.
Somebody, I told Mike this story the other day. I got an email from a grad student at UMKC being like, hey, can I talk to you about a project I want to do? I'm a big Royals Weekly fan, and I'd like to do some baseball research for this class of mine. And I was like, sure, let's talk about it. So I talked about some baseball research with a weekly weirdo.
Long story short, that is now Mark's best friend in the world.
Long story short, I think we're going to the Poconos sometime.
Sweet. Do I just click on the live thing to get into the chat? I know nothing about YouTube or technology.
Over on the right, you should have a column that says people, chat, brand, text, media.
I know. Do I have to click into our live show on YouTube? Is that how it works?
No. I mean, in Riverside.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
There should be a thing that says chat right there.
Yeah. Awesome. Kick ass.
Oh, it's nice that they've kept Henderson.
Hey, we got a run. I didn't catch it. How did we get the run?
Massey led off with a leadoff double.
Sweet.
Bobby moved him over to third, and then Vinny hit a single and got him in.
Yeah. All right. Good to see Vinny get that first hit back. You know, he got a walk yesterday. Good to see him get that first hit back. Mark's got Oreos. I have a beverage.
Liquid Oreos.
Liquid Oreos. All right. Mark, what are you looking for today? Only one change in the lineup, Renfroe.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the lineup. I talked about how I like the Renfroe thing because Eflin's that soft tossing righty.
Did you think they Renfroe, would? I think Rainey put out on Twitter, maybe I can't remember, where that he thought they might move away from Melendez and left after the gaff yesterday. You don't know?
That's not their thing.
Like, would you put Pham there though? Even no.
Well, Pham has like a 91 weighted runs created plus against righties, and Melendez, that's sort of his area. He's supposed to hit righties better than lefties. And with this ballpark and with his capacity to hit a ball out, I think they want Melendez in there over Pham. I don't think they're too worried about defense and like making a defensive gaffe in the corner outfields.
Yeah.
They safeguard themselves a little bit from that by having somebody who can cover so much ground like Kyle Isbell in center. And the whole point of that is so that you can have two mashers in the corners.
You froze. You froze on mine for a second.
Oh, I froze? Am I still froze?
No, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. I am running a lot of bandwidth through here, but I'm plugged in, so we should be good.
All right, let's watch Lugo. Ooh, Lugo just hit him in the hand. Or is he saying that's a knob? He's saying he hit it off the knob?
That's a knob. That's a knob. That's a knob ball. It probably hurt his hand, but
shit hurts your hand pretty good, yeah.
Hmm?
They're going to look at it. That is the knob of the bat,
That's the knob of the bat. Can we zoom in on that?
They gave two pretty good replays. Looked like the knob to me.
He's like, yeah, my fingers are fine because it didn't actually hit my hand. All right, maybe it nicked his hand.
I'm giving it. I'm saying knob.
Let's induce a ground ball here. Get a little double play. Mike, will you have thoughts on this this matchup lineup or seeing Lugo go against this lineup?
You know, I mentioned this in the week, the one that came out on Monday. I think it's a deep lineup of power, and so that always scares me. But we'll see. I do like the fact that it's a chill 68 or 69 degrees there and overcast. I know that. You could tell yesterday, and it could have just been that Reagan's is phenomenal, but the balls were not leaving the park yesterday. And so I would be completely okay with that again. And hopefully we can get some of those guys to hit those warning track fly balls instead of ones that leave the park today. This will be a big one. Santander will be a big one for him, for Lugo. How about the old advertising on the helmet there? What is that? Hey, and how did they sold it? They sold everybody the same one? Like,
I don't know. They're trying to make up for that lost Bally money they're never getting.
Oh yeah, big news there today. Big news there today. The Royals will not be on Bally Sports next year.
Well, we'll see. There's
probably there's no way because MLB wasn't letting teams renegotiate with Bally this year. They're not
renegotiating. Get out of here.
The question is,
wants those contracts to fail, huh?
I know. Are those 11 teams going to be the base for like the test run, the pilot teams for whatever streaming service they want to set up, MLB wants to set up?
I'm fine with that.
I'd be cool with that too. Ooh, a little bit tighter zone than yesterday.
Oh, yeah, definitely tighter than
yesterday. A little tighter zone than yesterday. Give me a double play ball. Here we go.
That is crazy, Josh EQ. 235 is league average these days.
Are you kidding? Is that the actual league
to me, that just puts in stark relief how amazing the seasons of Bobby Witt Jr. and Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are, right? Like the fact that you have guys who can get over 1 as an OPS or near 1 as an OPS at a time when pitching is so much more dominant. Great fastball there from Lugo. Love to see him dialing it up there every now and again. It's people talk about the different pitches, but they don't often talk about how like the varying velocity on those pitches has got to be a very confusing aspect of it for hitters.
Ooh.
He might be a little amped too.
Yeah, keep that fastball at 95, locate it on the outside if you can, but oh man, did you notice that yesterday when Rushman was up? It seemed like there was a very clear plan to pitch him up and in with fastballs. Yeah. I don't know if that's the same plan when he's hitting lefty, but man, he was just pounding the upper inside part of the plate against Adley Rutschman.
We'll see if Lugo tries the same plan. Maybe it's a team-wide thing. Mike, you'll like the fact that the Royals milked Eflin for 19 pitches in that first inning.
All right, there we go. Bullpen's the weakness. Get to the bullpen. Looked like Burns was going to go 9 yesterday. So.
I thought he was going to.
I thought Reagan's was going to go at least 8. You know,
I think he would have gone 7 if he hadn't had that cramp. But I think I walked in to teach, and it was like 4 or 5 innings down, and he only had like 50 pitches, and I'm like, this guy's going complete game. We don't do something.
All right, out of the
changeup there from Lugo. Love to see that changeup work for him. The changeup will be very important today. I mentioned this right before you got here, Mike. Lugo needs something to work away from those left-handers, to stay away from their left-handed power and the easy ability to hit a ball out to left. And so that changeup's going to look even more important as the day goes, because if he can stay away from left-handed power with Rutschman, with Santander, with who's that? Cowser, then he'll be in good shape. Mullins.
Henderson? Is he left-handed?
Is Henderson left-handed?
Yeah, he's
left-handed. He's left-handed. Yeah, he's left-handed. Him too.
Ryan O'Hearn off the bench. Is he in the lineup today? I didn't see the Orioles lineup. I just saw the Royals one.
I can bring it up.
Just a quick update if you didn't notice, Detroit and Houston are tied 2-2 in the top of the 8th. Guy on second.
O'Hearn is in the lineup at DH today. So they'll see him as well.
Ryan O'Hearn revenge game.
Stay away from that power as well. Ooh, let's bring that up too.
Yeah, I'm going to get if I can, I'm going to get the game day going for the other one.
You know, it's interesting. I looked up today the Savant page for yesterday's game, and you might think, having watched it, or at least I thought having watched it, that, the Royals got a little bit lucky yesterday. They weren't really making contact the same way the Orioles were and all this sort of stuff. Actually, the Royals had a higher expected batting average, pretty significantly higher than the Orioles did yesterday. Something like 260 to like 180.
Well, I thought they hit some balls hard. The line out double play by Melendez, which was going to be foul anyway, was a pretty hard hit ball. Garcia hit a couple line drives that got caught. I thought there was definitely Salvi had one that was a pretty hard hit one that he pulled. That was an out as well. So I thought they were hitting the ball pretty hard on Burns at times, but some of his stuff was just really good. Sometimes the cutter was just playing on the outside part of the plate to those righties extremely well, and so but I felt like when he made mistakes, they were hitting it kind of hard and getting outs.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see Kyle. You know what?
They're calling that.
What I was kind of almost begging for yesterday, for Kyle Isbell to put down a bunt.
Same
like
here.
In the 4th or 5th, like whatever, middle innings, put down a bunt, because we're not doing anything offensively, just to get him off that mound and moving.
You and I were in the exact same place.
I'm like, just get him off of there and make something happen. Like, even if you get out, get him off the mound and the timing change a little bit. He was in such a rhythm.
Oh, that's the pitch.
That was a juicy little breaking ball in the middle of the plate right there. Melendez needs to do something with that.
He's kicking himself right now. Like, oh. I wonder. Eflin very rarely throws that 4-seamer, but the MO against Melendez is throwing 4-seamers up when you got 2 strikes on him. I wonder if he'll continually go back to that 4-seamer.
Probably. Yeah. He just struck him out with an 89-mile-an-hour cutter.
Yeah. You can see how unnatural it is for him to throw that cutter up in that area.
Yeah. No. The unnatural thing was Melendez swinging at it.
He had no chance. But
he had no chance at a ball up there, and it was only going 89.
But the thing is, I think it was in the strike zone, so he's got to swing and at least make contact.
Oh man, I wanted to see the rest of those highlights. Oh, but yeah, what are they doing cutting to that? Kind of a big spot right now for the Detroit Tigers against the Astros. Josh Hader is about to walk the bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 8th.
Bullpen walks.
They'll get you. They'll get you. Man, could definitely use a Hunter Renfroe home run in this game.
Yeah.
Look at that. 5 for 13 career against Eflin with a home run.
Eflin is his type of pitcher.
Did you see anybody at work today? Yeah, I know it was another breaking ball right in the middle that we didn't.
That's two breaking balls this inning that could have been parked.
Did you see anybody? Was there a lot of work enthusiasm for the Royals at your place of work today?
My boss was enthusiastic about it, but I don't really interact with that many people at work.
That's what I wasn't sure. It was a very exciting day at my job. People were pumped about the win last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm Eflin, I don't get away from. Yeah, I don't get away from the mostly soft stuff away to him.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's going to try and do. The hard part is like if you're Renfroe, what you say is I'm going to force you to locate a pitch on the outer third consistently. That's not easy to do, especially when you're trying to throw sweepers and things like that, as opposed to just a four-seam fastball. Like there's four balls. You see, that's Renfroe's whole thing. He's like, I'm gonna force you against these righties, especially like Eflin, force you to throw pitches to that outer third, locate your sweeper, your cutter, your curveball on that outer third, and I'm going to wait for you to make a mistake with one over the heart of the plate. And he almost, he was on that curveball a little bit. And so that's what he was looking for, waiting for that one pitch that leaks back over the middle and he can get some bat on. Other than that, take your walk 90 feet.
See, this is a weird place. And I know you and I are not big fans of the bunt, but Isbell has not been hitting well at all for a little while now. Make a move, put some guys in, you're not going to steal with Hunter Renfroe, but put the ball down and see what happens. You're in the lead. So
if there were no outs, I'd probably be more open to it. But with one out, and again, this profile of pitcher sets up pretty well for Isbell too. Like it's not just guys like Renfroe. Isbell is a lefty. He can get some power when guys get in on him. This cutter's going to move naturally into inside on him.
There you just hit into a double play. Oh, nope. Didn't get Isbell at first. Yeah, pitch count's definitely a positive right now. That's a good thing. You hit it there. I'm going to assume your name is just Josh. Good job, Josh. I always forget about that because the Royals never get guys' pitch counts up. Yeah. So when they do, it's like, hey, all right. And we haven't had to see. We didn't get to see a lot of the bullpen for Baltimore yesterday.
We'll see if Garcia can turn those good ABs yesterday into good ABs today.
Yeah, he was on Corbin Burns yesterday. He was.
That's where Eflin wants to live with that cutter. Right out there. Well, you can't have it both ways.
Do you move? Do you send Isbell here at some point? Because Eflin's delivery is not fast home.
It's not.
He's a big dude, and so a lot of moving parts. Not necessarily a lot of moving parts. He's just not a quick mover.
Yeah, there he goes.
Ground out though. Right. Damn.
That was not a bad pitch to swing at for Garcia. He just wasn't able to get underneath it enough. So hopefully those good swing decisions turn into good outcomes before too long.
Oh, Detroit is up 5-2 now.
Yeah. Tigers bases clearing triple, Mason says.
Yep. That'll do it. And some guy named who hit it? Some guy named who was that? Was that Andy Ibanez? Don't know who that is.
101.5 the exit velo on that Michael Garcia ground out.
Oh, you got Savant pulled up for this?
Yep. There's someone named Brenna in our chat who's calling you Mr. Mead.
Hey. You'd have to be, I forget names, Brenna. I forget them all the time. I'm more of a face guy, but thank you for joining us. Hope you're enjoying the game. We're winning. I guess everybody's enjoying it who's a Royals fan, right?
Maybe you shouldn't even assume they're watching the game. They could come here just for the entertainment value of watching you. I swear.
It could be, yeah. Nothing like the entertainment value of a middle-aged middle school teacher. What's up?
What's up? I was going to try and live tweet the game too.
And the Tigers won yesterday too, didn't they?
Andy Ibanez put that. Oh, I guess they're calling it a double. Maybe he may advance to third on the throw or something.
Yes. I remember now. Good to see you in here, Brenna. Hope high school's treating you well. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Detroit beating Houston, I think, would be a pretty big positive for Cleveland. I think Cleveland would rather play Detroit than Houston, but yeah, well, I know honestly, I would rather play Detroit than Houston. I know
Detroit is the hottest team in baseball, but if you're giving me the choice, I would rather face Detroit
for sure.
than Houston.
For sure.
Lugo back out for the second here. Here's
Rutschman. Let's see what let's see if his approach is the same, because he could not hit that fastball up and in yesterday at all. Looks like maybe Salvi was setting up in there. What a bad second half for Rutschman.
Yeah, Rutschman's struggling.
My gosh,
offensively, it's so tough to be a catcher and be a productive offensively. There's just so much for you to do. Like, you have pitchers meetings, you have just so much to do defensively, that the notion of being really successful and productive offensively is so much tougher. And so, ooh, that was a great curveball. Great curveball.
That's his calling card.
Lugo right there. I'm a big fan of Jessica Mendoza in the booth.
Yeah, I think she's pretty good. Actually,
super sharp.
I didn't even mind who's the other guy that was with them yesterday, the color guy.
Oh, I didn't hear any of the game yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was okay. He's a little hokey, but he still throws some good stuff out there, some decent insights from time to time. That's the thing we were talking about, or I think I put that, or was going back and forth with somebody today on Threads about the Bally thing. The fact that it's not gonna be Bally's next year, and I was talking about, like, well, then maybe, if Apple starts to get the rights to those games, or Amazon, if that's the partner that MLB chooses to go with, you're going to get a better broadcast a lot of times. You just are. Now, even if it's still Ryan and Hud and Jake and whoever, the product is going to be better from those things than what you were getting from Bally's. So I'm excited long term for them to no longer have be a part of the Bally's regional sports network. Ryan O'Hearn gets a seeing eye single.
That one squeaked through. Rolling at the vigorous pace of 90 miles an hour.
The old 3 or 4 hopper.
I don't even have an expected batting average on it. Oh, no, they do 130, the expected batting average on that Ryan O'Hearn ground ball. So unlikely events occur all the time in baseball.
Word.
That's a great sweeper from Lugo to start off Mountcastle here.
I'd like to see him give him one more of those breakers away and then come in with a 2-seamer. It looks like maybe they're coming in with a 2-seamer right now. Yep. That's what they did.
You know what I would do? Double up on that and do it again.
That's what I would have done with I would have gone with a cutter away there and then come back with the 2-seamer, but that's okay.
Yeah, they agreed with me.
Okay. Foul ball.
Now you'll see him go back to either curveball down or sweeper away.
You know, I was so busy last night, I did not see. Do you know who won in the Yankees series, or in the not the Yankees series? I guess the only other series going on right now is the National League ones, right? The Mets won, didn't they?
Yeah, the Mets won yesterday. Yeah, Mets and Padres both won over the Brewers and Braves. Michael King had 12 strikeouts in 7 innings for the Padres yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that. That means that likely the
great slurve from Lugo there. That pitch was that'll be on Pitching Ninja here in a moment because that was straight up filthy slurve from Lugo there. Mountcastle had no chance, had to swing at it because it looked like it's going to the bottom third, and it disappears and ends up down in the chalk down in the other batter's box. Mullins had a good day yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I've always liked him. Really wanted the Royals to get him when he was a free agent a few years ago. Plays a good center field too. Has had a rough year this year, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe rough.
A little bit.
A lot of those guys had a rough second half on the Orioles.
I'm not entirely sure injuries haven't been a problem for him this year either. I'd have to go check, but interesting choice from Salvi to drop his helmet right next to the ball.
Almost on the baseball.
As a catcher, you're typically taught to throw it very far away from you, like what you did with his mask probably, but of course he wears the old school separate helmet and mask thing. So
I remember a few years ago when they were having some concussion concerns from him. They were talking about the actual mask itself being made out of like an insanely hard material, like iron or something.
They decided to go back to an old school style mask because of that, because they were like, hey, this is actually sturdier, better for you. Nice. 96 to upper third. Lugo put some stank on it.
Yeah.
Love to see that.
Love a little stank at the edge of the zone. Good work there. I wanted to see who. I'm trying to figure out who they. So Josh Hader is still in for the Astros. They left him in there.
I got to say, I mean, I think we can say this with pretty much certainty that Eflin is definitely not in the zone the way that Burns was yesterday.
No.
Not even
in
close.
The zone is smaller today, but
no, I don't mean in the zone like that. I just mean like he's not on fire like Burns was yesterday.
Yeah,
he's
no.
He's not grooving like Burns was. And as a result, it makes me wonder what the second time through is going to look like, because we're coming up on that right now, this next inning. Will these guys have had a better look at him, a better understanding of, oh, he's going to try and work that cutter away from me as a right-hander, or what he's going to try and do to me as a left-hander? Might this be where we see the Royals do a little damage offensively so far in this series?
Could be. Did you see Jackson Jobe got into the game for Detroit today?
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a interesting place to put in somebody who just got called up.
I know. He went 1/3 of an inning and gave up the only 2 runs that they've given up today.
Oh, that's right.
For those of you that don't know, Jackson Jobe is a pretty highly ranked prospect. Interesting to us. And if I remember, Alex Duvall really liked him a lot coming out. Yeah, Lugo is on fire. If he can keep it going this way, we may only have to use the triad of Long, Bubic, and Ursig again, or just 2 of them. Who knows?
Yeah, I would love. Well, the thing is, his pitch count has gone up to he's over 30 pitches right now. Lugo is, and so he hasn't been as efficient as he could be in the first couple innings, but he might make that up later. And if nothing else, it'll all sort of depend on what the score line looks like at that point, right? Because they'll save their relievers if they can to some degree, and so it'll be interesting to see if they end up. Wouldn't be surprised if you see like a Daniel Lynch in there as a lefty at some point or something.
And when are they scheduled to play again if the Orioles win today? Is it tomorrow? Or
tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then, so we want to get the win today to get the extra day off.
Man, there's nothing Massey loves more than an 0-2 count.
Guy swings all the time. I would really like Bobby to hit something really hard today too, and in the air and pulled. If we could, be great.
You're speaking my language.
He just, I know he's got the power to hit it out to right center and right field, but he's always going to get a lot better power outcomes pulling it.
They're pitching him on the inner third, and he can't get power the opposite field in the inner third, but he's not pulling them either. He's just hitting like lazy fly balls to right field on the inner third, or like he would have did in the first inning, which is just like a little dribbler to the second baseman. And so, yeah, he needs to be thinking, I need to be pulling balls that are thrown to the inner third.
Agreed. It has been a pretty good season. And you mentioned this a little bit, or I think maybe you mentioned this in our text with Eric Oxer of West USA Realty. Good to be now probably negotiating a new TV contract when you're coming off of a good run in the playoffs, a great turnaround, and you now have a superstar in the game. And so, and 2, really, I mean, Cole Reagans should be considered a pitching superstar in this game. And you've got those got control of those players for the next many years. And so it looks like we're going to be pretty good for a while. Going in negotiating that TV contract is going to be a little bit easier than it was last time.
Yeah. We shall see.
I would love to see Bobby leave that pitch down there.
Yes.
For the first pitch of the at-bat.
He's now swung at the first pitch both plate appearances.
There it is.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. Pull the ball. Pull the ball.
What was the exit velocity on that one?
108.9, so 109 basically.
Now here's the thing. He has been thrown out on the bases already once in this series.
Right.
He is a great base stealer. Well, let me put it this way: he is fast. I don't know if I want to send him quite as much as a lot of people do. Now, today, maybe you think about it because Eflin is a little bit slow home. Who do they have behind the plate? Oh, is Rutschman catching today?
I thought I saw.
I'll tell you what, McCann looked like shit throwing to bases yesterday.
He did not look good throwing to bases.
He looked bad.
Sure. Yeah,
now it's Rutschman behind the plate. So maybe you don't run on him. He's a little bit better. I think he's a little bit better catch and throw guy than McCann is. But yeah, so that was a pitch that Vinny wants to do more with, that cutter right there in the middle.
Yep, 89. This is how you can tell that Eflin is not in the zone right now. He's up 0-1 to Bobby, and he leaks a cutter right back over the middle at 89. Bobby Witt Jr. is great. He can do something with an 89-mile-an-hour cutter in the middle of the plate. He's not locating well even when he's up.
Well, and he's had a couple breaking balls right down the pipe that we haven't been able to do anything with yet. Yeah. You know, you give major league hitters 2 or 3 chances at those, and they're going to put one of them out. So. Well, he sure thinks Bobby's going to go.
How many is that going over?
That's 2.
So he's got one more. He has
a little bit bigger lead from Bobby, maybe.
Oh yeah.
After that, you guys hear my dog going crazy up there? Someone could be invading my home right now. We don't even know. Okay. Of course, home invasion. Kids getting off the school bus. She barks the same. So
for her, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
All the same threat. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes here at 2-2.
Oh, Vinny, what are you swinging at?
Yeah, Vinny's kicking himself for swinging at that. And that's just, to me, if the rust from – sorry, everybody, I'm going to move my mic here in a second. But if the rust from being out shows at all, it's in that moment right there, right? It's in the, 2 strikes, chasing a ball. You're just not so familiar with the strike zone anymore, that takes a little time. Ooh,
a dying quail there.
It'll fall as a dying quail, but that's a pitch that he sometimes just literally just destroys. Yeah. And so
the old 71-mile-an-hour single. Oh my gosh, how did he not just clobber that thing? Oh, man, that was a cement mixer right there.
I know, and that's why I wish Bobby had taken off on 2-2 because I think he would have made it. But
they're bringing somebody out. A little mound visit.
No, mound
visit. Just mound visit. Yeah, that is, I think, such a key, Josh. You are correct. And I'm going to throw Hunter Renfroe into that mix too. I think any one of those 3 guys finds the power stroke in the playoffs here, and then we're really talking about some offensive production.
I'm going to throw Melendez into that mix as well.
Yeah, but I think he's so far away. I think he's so far away from
is not as, as palpable as it is for guys like Witt and Salvi, but we have seen Melendez get on heaters. We have seen him produce power outcomes before. If he finds it in this playoffs, look out. It will help.
Well, and
I'll just say that.
Another sneaky guy for that would be Massey because of the 2 ballparks you're playing in the first 2 series. I
was telling this group before you got here, I would not be surprised at all if Massey yanks one out today. I would not be surprised at all if it goes to tomorrow, if he yanks one out sometime in the series, because this ballpark sets up nicely for him. And obviously Yankee Stadium does too. He's had a bunch of success there. Guy who's full of pull power. I'd like to get him in a room with Witt Jr. just being like, here's how you pull the ball in the air as much as possible, really.
Father Time in the batter's box now. He's been good for us though. Yuli, not going to give you much power, but he will hit you some singles and a couple doubles and get on base from time to time. But that's not what you wanted.
Man, I would have loved a nice little 2-out base hit there, but that's okay. Get some. Again, the pitch count running up there. He's at 55 pitches now. I think there's a decent chance he doesn't go beyond 5 today.
Oh, yeah,
the Orioles can see what we're seeing, that he is not real sharp today. But yeah, at some point, Joshy Q there is mentioning the extra base hits. At some point, though, it'd be just great to get some hits with runners in scoring position too. Like, I'm not that picky when it comes to the playoffs. However you need to score runs, do it. But I would love to see some hits with scoring in position, or some hits with runners in scoring position, because the Royals have been struggling with that for weeks now. They could use some positive regression on that front.
Yeah. I think they're going to the bottom of the 9th in the Detroit game. Is it Will Vest? Is that the guy the relief pitcher for Detroit?
Yeah, I think that's what
his first name is, but it's Vest is his last name. I think it's Will.
It's not Mickey Vest. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that joke makes no sense to anybody. Thanks, Cheryl. With a C. Is that you, Mom? Be honest.
Be honest. Is that Mom?
Be honest. Other Marcus. Yes. I agree with you. Other Marcus. His name's Marcus too. The legend. Cheryl, are you our mother or are you a different Cheryl? And if you are our mother, how did you figure out how to get in here? Wouldn't that be nice? This team needs 4 runs and they're gonna win the games, right? Like, come on. The pitching has been so good. The bullpen is so improved. 4 runs and we make a hell of a run in these playoffs.
That's actually the case. I mean, especially now that you think about, okay, Singer's not going to start in a lot of these games, if any of them making their playoff run. Not only does their bullpen get deeper, but their offensive or their rotation gets more potent. If it's just Ragans, Lugo, and Waka. And so Waka's got an ERA like around 2.5 in the second half. He's been great. And so, yeah, we'll see.
I apologize, Cheryl, if you are not our mother, but that is her first name as well. All right, Lugo back out. He's at just 33 pitches. That's not bad. He had a pretty.
That'll get you out after 6-7 innings.
Let's see if the Tigers have won it. Nope, not quite.
It's wild to me, knowing offense at this time in Major League history, to see a guy who's got a 750 OPS basically hitting 9th for somebody. That's crazy to me. Like, that's how deep this lineup is. Urias would be hitting 5th in the Royals lineup.
For sure. Oh, no.
That was hit well.
Get there, MJ. Oh, what a catch.
Nice catch. And everybody was like, oh, MJ made a mistake yesterday.
Don't say that. Don't say that, because he's going to, kick one here in a second. And
I don't believe in fate, anybody. I don't believe in fate or tempting fate.
Very, very good work there, MJ Melendez. That was a heck of a play up against the wall here, or running into the wall right after the catch.
Ooh.
Oh.
Covered a ton of ground there.
Woof. Defensive specialist MJ Melendez.
Yeah.
And Brenna, to answer yourself, no, you do not get first name basis until you graduate from high school. So you graduate from high school. Hey, yeah, it is our mom. All right. Hey, Ma. Took foul ball. Thank God. Mom took a break from Romanian deadlifts to join us today. Thanks, Ma.
It's nice of her.
Don't really know how you're watching the game, Ma, but good to see you could join us there. That's awesome. Hopefully, with now the Royals being like a free agent in the broadcast side of things, it'll be easier for people to be able to watch the games on a regular basis. So that would be nice. Any concern that he's been hit pretty hard in these last 2 at bats?
I'm not concerned.
That was a heck of a pitch there. Oh, he didn't get the call. That was a heck of a curveball there.
Great curveball. Throw it again. Ooh, great changeup. Yeah. That's the second time that changeup has been a strikeout pitch. We keep bringing it up about the changeup to left-handers. Watch for it, people. Watch for it. Yeah, tons of ground covered out there. What's interesting about MJ is he is a former catcher, but he is faster than your average left fielder in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
does he got still some pretty good straight line speed and on his breaks? Yeah, absolutely, he does. But great job covering ground there on that one. I feel like the curveball for Lugo is so dynamic because it's his strikeout pitch, but he'll also open an at bat with it to get a strike. Oh yeah, fantastic. For sure. And it's really hard for people to square up, even if he's throwing it middle. It's a tough pitch to square up if he's thrown a good one. If it's got good shape, if it's got good depth to it, tough to square up either way. Now, if he throws a little bit, if the spin efficiency isn't great, and he throws a cement mixer up there, then yeah, that one's pretty easy to hit. But it's nice to. That sweeper was intense. Pitching Ninja's whole Twitter feed is just going to be Lugo clips today. Because that was fierce sweeper from Lugo right there.
I just dream on a hell of a 1-2 punch there from Reagans and Lugo throughout the whole playoffs. Mm-hmm. I mean, the end of the Royals playoff run, whenever it happens, could be Reagans and Lugo. Just that could be it. It could be, hey, Reagans and Lugo just carried this team through
the same way people talk about Johnson and Schilling through the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, or series run. I mean, we always talked about it as the bullpen from the 14 and 15 teams, but could it just be those two dominating for the whole run? All right, there we go. Pretty efficient inning there too. So
yes, good work. Great work.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
both of them.
Yep, the Detroit Tigers have now defeated the Houston Astros to move on. If I'm not mistaken, right? They won yesterday too, didn't they?
Who?
Detroit.
Yes, they won yesterday too.
So they're moving on to face the Guardians of Cleveland. So that'll be an extremely familiar matchup there. An all AL Central matchup in the divisional round there. Boy, if the Royals win, then you're talking about 3 AL Central teams in the divisional round.
Yep.
And people kind of shit all over this division.
They shit all over the division. That's all they do is shit on the AL Central. And it's like, hey, guess what?
Although I do have to admit, I was one of those people who was like, yeah, winnable division.
I mean, it was. They were in the division race until the last few weeks, till that 7-game losing streak, essentially. They were in it for that division, but ultimately just couldn't pull it out. But it's wild to me that people were so down on the AL Central, and yet the AL Central has 3 playoff teams. They've got 2 of the 3 wild card spots and their division winner. They have, the Tigers look like the Tigers have advanced. At least 2 teams in the division series. I don't know that it's as clear cut as people think it is. I mean, does anybody think that the Guardians are worse than the Blue Jays or the Rays? The AL East is, a good division still, but nobody's like, oh, Guardians, the Royals, they couldn't play in the AL East. They could even this year.
those AL East teams have, well, many of them have just resources, tons and tons of resources.
Jerry asks, "Why are you wearing black?"
What's that line from? What's that line from? Walk the Line. You look like you're going to a funeral. That's right. Okay, I think we need a special permit for this kind of content, if I'm not mistaken. Keep it on OnlyFans, my friend. Keep it on OnlyFans. Okay. Is that that's not a Royal shirt either, though?
Oh, it absolutely is. I got it at a T-shirt Tuesday. It says Royals.
That looks like a giveaway day one. Mark is notorious for wearing non-Royals apparel to podcast in. He just does it. I mean, if you watched our draft coverage a couple of years ago, he was wearing red when everybody else we were working with KCSN, Kansas City Sports Network, on that draft, and Mark was wearing a red shirt, Cardinals red, and everybody else is wearing royal blue.
I wear whatever I pull off the pile. That's all I really care about. Like I don't judge it. Does it fit me? Not well, but I wear it anyway. And so that's all that matters.
I just have to say thank you to Jerry because he needed to hear it from some outside people. We'd been harping on him for that for so long. You may notice that every week we do the show, I'm wearing royal blue, and he's wearing whatever disgusting rag he found in the trash. Okay, Hunter Renfroe's second at bat here was really on Eflin in that first one, earned himself a walk. Let's see if Eflin leaves him another crappy breaking pitch over the middle, if he can do something with it. That wasn't a terrible one to go at, but not a great one. Might have just passed up good to get great on that one. That's going foul.
He was on it, though.
I think he's definitely going to get an extra base hit today if Eflin stays in.
I would be very surprised if Eflin gets all the way back to Renfroe again. Especially with them being down 1-0. They need to win this game.
Yeah.
It's a must win for them. So they gotta be playing like, hey, we can't afford to get down in this game.
I thought he was going to go to one of the...
That's basically the same pitch he passed up 2-2.
Yeah. Oh, they're showing the Astros getting kicked out of the playoffs. We all weep for you, Astros. Okay. They must have misplaced the trash can, I guess.
I want to hear all the trash can jokes. I want to hear all the Astros cheating jokes. That's hilarious.
Oh, that was a really good pitch from Eflin there.
That was. That's one of the reasons I can't wait for automated balls and strikes is that pitches like that will get consistently called strikes. Like the pitchers that start outside and just nick the corner and stuff like that. Ultimately it will benefit hitters because too many non-strikes get called strikes, but it'll be interesting because you'll be really rewarded for really good pitches like that.
Well, I think that's an untapped market of good pitches that you can throw. The backdoor breaking ball that just barely gets into the zone can be a very effective one. And when we saw Brady Singer at his best, he was throwing his slider to lefties for that, getting strikes on that backdoor slider of his. So
yesterday, Corbin Burns was throwing his cutter backdoor to all the lefties and getting just fantastic outcomes from that. And so,
yeah, with a little bit bigger zone, it can be very effective too.
Yeah.
All right, Isabel, your job is to get on base so Michael can come up and turn the lineup over again. Gosh, Eflin isn't even close on some of those.
I know.
That was a non-competitive pitch on a two-seamer to a lefty. Oh, yep. They're warming somebody up now.
Lefty, not surprising.
Yeah, the Royals do struggle against the lefties. If you can get a lefty for them to go multiple innings here and not surrender runs, give you the chance to not only get back in it, but possibly take the lead, although Lugo looks really good. So.
And I guess that lefty is probably just coming in to face the lineup the third time, start with Massey, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They'll probably leave Eflin in to face Garcia, and then...
Yeah, I don't think Garcia looked so good in his previous at-bat to as to worry about him facing Eflin again. Ooh, hit him.
Yeah. Isbell take that first base. He's a dirtbag.
He is a dirtbag. And if you're going to get hit with a fastball, which it looked like that was,
that's not
a terrible place to get hit.
Not terrible. No, you'll take that all day. Especially from a guy who throws maybe 90?
Yeah. You're going to be a little tight in that spot for a day or two. But
he's essentially down in the count 2-2. And yeah, sure, I'll take one on the leg to go down to first base.
Right in the back of the hammy.
Right to the...
I feel like their pitching coach is aggressively short.
Yeah.
But those two are Giants too, so I could be wrong. All right, what else we got going on National League wise? Have those games started? A little disappointed in MLB for sticking these in the middle of the day.
Same here. What are we doing, MLB? You don't want people watching these games or what?
Well, I wish they would mix it up. I wish it wasn't like American League in the middle of the day, National League at night. Like, yeah, give me one and one. Like give me one American League game during the day, one National League game during the day.
Yeah.
Give me mix it up. But hey, nobody's ever claimed MLB actually knew what they were doing. So
yeah, that's true.
That was actually a good pitch that Garcia swung at.
Not the first one. I must be a little bit behind you because.
And by that I mean a pitcher's pitch. It was a good pitch from Eflin.
That was a pitcher's pitch. Yes.
That cutter on the outside, that was a very good one. Yeah, some of these just not anywhere near the zone with some of the stuff. Against a lineup that will swing at anything if you put it anywhere near the zone.
I know. That's the thing. That's really the difference in him and Lugo today is that, Lugo can keep it, can at least start it on the edges and move it off the edge of the plate. Eflin's struggling, but he made it through 4, 75 pitches. I don't think we're going to see Eflin back out for the 5th.
It would surprise me. We got the lineup turned over, like I said, we needed to do. And to let those guys see him a third time could get a little dicey, especially after you saw like Salvi's not going to miss that pitch again. If he gets another one like that, Bobby already hit 109. Massey already has a double. Vinny already has a single. Those. I don't know that you're going to let him face that top of the lineup again. Being down 1-0.
Real quickly, while we're in the middle of things, let's remind you that our podcast is very sponsored by some wonderful sponsors, all in physical therapy here in Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Belton. Give them a call for any of your physical therapy needs. Also, Eric Oxford of West USA Realty, one of our good friends and a wonderful realtor down in the Phoenix area. If you need any housing needs down in Phoenix, you'll find no one better in the world of realty than Eric Oxford of West USA Realty. So make sure you're checking them out. Also, a reminder that Royals Weekly is brought to you by Bet Online. If you want to do some gambling on this Royal series, on football, on any sort of gambling, check out Bet Online if you're in a state that allows gambling. Sadly, Mike and I are not. So we would never do such a thing. But we'll see. I think it's on the ballot here in November.
It is
November. Yes, they have, Josh EQ. And I've actually thought about that quite a bit. Josh Q says in the chat that the Royals have really mastered the lazy fly out, easy pop up. And I'm like, yes, they have. And I wonder sometimes about like, we see a lot of those from the Royals. And if you look at their batted ball data, they do hit a lot of fly balls relative to the rest of the league. But I think to myself often, would I rather them be doing that or grounding out weekly? I'd rather them be trying to get the ball in the air. Like occasionally that's going to result in some lazy fly balls, but they need to be trying to get the ball in the air as much as possible. And so we saw Garcia ground out pretty weakly, or not weakly. We saw he hit it pretty hard, but he grounded out in his last at bat. It's good to see him trying to get the ball in the air. Gambling is illegal, Brenna, in the state of Missouri. In the state of Kansas, it is not. Did you get that text?
I get lots of texts. Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. We'll see if it ends up passing gambling in Missouri this year, but I don't know.
Which one? I think it was that. Yeah, I think it was Amendment 2.
That's a swing.
Yeah, you got it, Josh. Avoid those double plays, and we got the kind of runners, at least in certain parts of our lineups, that will hit into double plays. So those guys all need to be hitting the ball in the air.
I think one thing we have to say about Lugo in this game is his stuff has looked incredible. Like,
yeah, his 91 on that fastball, little. Maybe he's not throwing the 95. He was amped up at the beginning of the game, but
he's the type of pitcher who will mix, who will ease off the gas. He has the capacity to add and subtract from that fastball. But you've seen the curveball, the sweeper, the changeup. They've all been incredible today. And we've seen some really well located pitches as well.
Gonna start the Threvolution here.
Yeah, start Threads.
Let everybody know we're doing this.
I'll go ahead and retweet the old invite to here just for funsies.
Damn it.
All right. Now Lugo's going to have to work for it a little bit. Oh, yeah. He was looking for that fastball. Good job from Renfroe getting over there in time to hold him to a single. There's that changeup.
Really good changeup to start him.
Yep. Just missed, but it was a good pitch because that's the pitch that induces the ground ball double play right there. In fact, if he could throw another one just like it, I'd have him throw another one exactly like it. Oh, good pitch. See, there's that sinker at 95.
Kowser's going to be tough to double up here. So,
yeah, lefty.
May only focus here on getting one just to get you started in the inning.
Ooh.
Of course, maybe he amps it up and gets him McKay. We'll see. You go back to the changeup here? I might go back to the changeup.
I'd either go back to the changeup or
the fastball up and in, maybe?
Maybe if I was confident I could locate it. I'd either go back to the curveball or the changeup here.
Went to the changeup.
Yep. Good pitch. Okay, so here's the thing. I'd throw the changeup again.
Yeah, and a little bit more off the plate.
Right. And if you're a pitcher like Lugo and you have so many pitches, the thing they don't expect you to do is throw one pitch again, right? And so, you throw that changeup a couple times in a row or even 3 times in an at-bat, and that expectation of, oh, he's got 9 pitches, he's going to throw all 9, you subvert that a little bit.
Ooh, went with a curveball.
Nice. That's the 4th or 5th time he's located that curveball right on that edge to a left-hander. Man, Lugo looks in the zone. Let's hope that holds.
Gives up a single there to Rutschman.
Yeah, that was a poorly located fastball. Ooh, Santander.
Not incredibly hit hard, but
great example of the reputation of Renfroe's arm just saved the Royals from having a guy on third with less than 2 outs right there.
Yeah, not loving this either, but nothing hurt yet. Still double play ball ends it, and a strikeout puts you in a fine position. So I know it's Ryan O'Hearn. You can double up Ryan O'Hearn, even though he's a lefty. Who's playing first? Is Gurriel, I assume? Yeah, Gurriel's playing first. He's good glove at first there too. So make sure he gets it off the bag enough to field his position here, and maybe O'Hearn pulls one right to him. Get a little double play.
Forget about the ground ball and get a strikeout here. Throw him a changeup.
Oh, good stop, Massey. Oh, great work just to get one out there.
Smart decision there. Smart play from Massey.
Good call
to get one.
And that's actually very similar to a play that he tried to go to second on, I want to say in September sometime, and he ended up costing them a game late in the season. So he does the smart thing and goes to first there. Yeah, Massey was playing him to pull quite a bit more than that. Josh sharing a little bit too much information there. But I completely get it.
That is our sense of humor there, Josh. Yeah, 79 as an exit velocity for that ground ball from O'Hearn there.
Yeah, fantastic stop. And that's what you get from Michael Massey. He's going to swing at every damn thing that comes his way, but he's also going to play you an above average second base and a very solid second base. And I like the matchup against Mountcastle here, honestly.
Pitch.
If there's a guy that I kind of want going against in this situation, it's probably Mountcastle.
Mountcastle, real aggressive there. That sinker was a good 6 inches off the inside of the plate. I would not be surprised if you see a sweeper or a curve here.
Oh, left it over a little bit, but that should work.
But that'll do. That'll do.
All right. Way to go, Lugo. You're
nice
still
shot, Lugo, working on that one.
Top of the lineup coming up. 3 guys who all have hits today. Expecting to see somebody new.
Does Massey have a hit today? I don't know that he does.
Yeah, he's got the double.
Oh, he's got the double. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only run that scored.
Are we going to win? Are we going to win 2 games back to back, 1-0? Could it happen?
Could happen. Be wild.
Yeah, I was listening to the radio on the way home from work because I didn't want to miss any of the game, and Denny Matthews bet Eisenberg dinner tonight that they wouldn't have another 1-0 game. So we'll see.
I think Eisenberg's just happy to cover dinner for Denny if he wants to.
Yeah. Denny owes him dinner, and Denny's made plenty of money in his life.
All right,
he'll be able to pay for that. And boy, I like those two. Yeah, that was huge. That was absolutely huge.
That's 2 big defensive plays from the Royals in this game, from MJ in left field, Massey right there. And we talk about sometimes the difference that defense will make in the playoffs, that tiny edge it can give you. We saw Mountcastle not make the play on that double down the line from Massey. And there's your slight difference in the game right now.
Yeah. Especially when you're a team like the Royals who, let's just be honest, probably aren't going to score a ton of runs. the defensive miscues are amplified, and we were lucky to get out of one yesterday when MJ misplayed that ball. We were able to do that because, Cole Riggins was superhuman. Seth Lugo looks pretty superhuman right now as well. So good work on defense. Let's get some runs. I want to see who they bring. Looked like they were bringing in a lefty, probably.
I'd love a nice 5-6 run inning here.
Yeah. Blow it open and let's cruise. Just a heads up for those of you who are subscribers to the Substack, we will have some of our post-game coverage today will be part of our Substack episode, or will be our Substack episode for tomorrow. So all playoff stuff now. We're in playoff mode. And then hopefully on Monday, all we're doing is talking about how the Royals are still killing it in the playoffs. So.
And if I get enough time, I'll probably be putting out some articles, some writing about this series on the Substack as well this week. So for those of you interested in that, royalsweekly.substack.com.
I do not know how to say this guy's name. They just brought in left-hander Danny.
They're saying Coolum.
Coolum?
That's what they're saying.
Cool. You can hear the broadcast?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have it on the TV. I have it on the same laptop. I have a laptop here connected to a screen here. So you're up here.
Oh, yeah.
And then the game is right in front of me.
Coolum had a pretty good season. He didn't pitch a ton. Looks like 2.12 ERA for him. Oh, no, he did pitch quite a bit. He pitched in 33 games, but only 29 innings.
They're looking for any solution they can get in the bullpen.
It's pretty good strikeout numbers without overpowering stuff. Hey, Missouri guy from St. Louis.
Where?
He's from St. Louis. He old, though. 34.
Oh, Coulomb?
Coulomb. Yeah.
Coulomb.
Looks like one of those kind of soft-tossing lefties that doesn't throw anything straight.
Massey just got a pretty generous call on 2-2 there.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Looked like a strike in the bottom there. Oh, what do you say?
Oh, Massey.
How do you take that one on the edge of the strike zone and then swing at that garbage? Come on, Massey.
It's so interesting to me how Major League Baseball is just moving closer and closer all the time to what Japanese baseball is, in terms of pitching anyway.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of guys who are like nothing straight, right? Nothing straight. Throw more pitches.
Oh, how did they give him that one? Bobby. Well, he was trying to pull that one. I can tell you that.
Right. Well, he's in his mind was, I just took a cutter at 89 on the inside corner when it wasn't really on the corner, and so he throws him another one that kind of looks like that, but it's further inside, and so he swings.
Is he going to beat it out? No. Yeah, Gunnar Henderson pretty good.
He is.
Yeah, I know. That's yesterday. So quick story here, since Josh brought up the old Hart taking the 1-0 wins here, these close games. We were watching. We don't watch the games as a family because my wife's not a big baseball fan and my son is too, so he doesn't know what's going on. But we're watching the game last night as a family, and of course, when Ursig gets I think he got the first strikeout he got, and I just yell, yeah! My son about cries. He almost starts crying. He looks over at me because he's never seen me do this. He's never seen me go crazy for a game before, and so we immediately have to go into like calming mode. All right, Vinny, there we go. All right, now you get righty and Salvador Perez, who hits lefties really well. Here we go. But then he finally starts doing it too. And after every time Ursig throws the ball, he just screams his head off. Doesn't matter if it was a foul ball, anything. Pitch thrown, yeah. Like, and he looks over at me like, "You're gonna scream too, right, Dad?" All right. Kids say the darndest things, don't they? I didn't realize Vinny was wearing that big thing on his thumb. Yeah, it is because he's 2, and he's just so adorable. But I'm trying to get him to like baseball, so we'll see. We'll see if he does. That's 2 hits for Vinny today.
I think I'm significantly behind you at this point.
Are you not in a commercial?
No, because my thing started messing up, and so now I'm like behind.
How are you watching the game?
Janky stream, because I tried to get ESPN to work on mine, and it wouldn't. I was on the phone with somebody from ESPN right before the live stream was supposed to start, and I'm like, I can't wait for you to keep me on hold. And so I just janky stream it up. But I'll find one that's a little bit more caught up.
You're not missing anything right now. It's just still commercial, the old Dodge Ram commercial for me.
Is it just a truck driving over some mountains? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, pretty much in a field, in a meadow. You know, the old
Bob Seger, or
it's Bob Seger over a truck driving over a mountain, which you will never actually do if you buy that truck.
You don't know. I drive over mountains all the time.
Preach, Josh. Preach. Okay. 2-year-olds. Well, I'm a middle school teacher, so that tests I already get a test of my patience and taught to manage my frustrations on a daily basis, but not quite like having an infant in your house. I tell you that's a whole different level. So I give you this is my spirit fingers for good vibes to Josh and the infant there. All right, they're bringing in Jacob Webb, ERA of about 3. Right-hander to face Salvi. We wanted them to face the lefty, but Salvi's got a knack for getting big hits in big moments. So let's see one of those. Ooh, they're showing pictures of Vinny's thumb. The scar on his thumb. It's a pretty big scar. Oh, he hit Salvi.
Hey.
Right on the elbow pad. Looked like
rough.
The fastball on the inside. He's okay. He's laughing about it. Josh Webb's got an ERA of 3.02 in the 56 innings he's pitched. Decent strikeout numbers, not great for a reliever. Vinny's got a modified oven mitt thing on his hand. That looks weird, especially for him. He ain't ever stealing a base. Middle schoolers aren't that bad. You're right, Brenna. Middle schoolers aren't that bad. They keep the child inside me alive. And my liquor cabinet empty.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, Travis, I need a big hit in a big moment right here. Really bad.
That's what we need. We needed it for a while.
Oh, and of course it's Gurriel up again. He had an opportunity last time and didn't cash in. So hopefully that's another sweeper to start off the at bat from Webb there. He hasn't located either one yet. So actually, let's be honest, Webb hasn't located a good pitch yet. So make him throw you one here. Another sweeper outside. All right. Make him throw you one, Gurriel, and he will. He's not a big time hacker like a lot of the Royals are kind of accustomed to. Here we go. 3-0. 3-0 with a chance to load the bases. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention that this was the situation in the Astros and Tigers game we were just talking about. And they walked the bases loaded as well. And then somebody hit a double to clear the bases. So would love for that to happen here as well.
Same.
MJ Melendez coming up against
MJ,
old righty and Webb.
Loaded.
Now, here's the thing. He just walked him on 4 pitches. MJ Melendez should not swing at this first pitch. That's like, I don't want to say baseball 101, but you don't, when a guy just walked the bases loaded and hit the guy before that, you do not swing at this first pitch. Okay. But the Royals are notorious for swinging at first pitches. So
I don't know about that. Sometimes I think to myself, hey, this guy knows that I'm probably not swinging because he needs to locate a strike, and he's gonna groove me one right down the middle here.
No, not when you're MJ Melendez. His coach should be in his ear right now. Do not swing at this first pitch, or if they have a take sign still, he should be getting it right now. Josh working on a little reverse psychology here. I love it.
Well, he took the first pitch.
Oh, you're ahead of me now.
No, I just got the game day open.
Oh, okay.
It was a sweeper right down Broadway.
That's okay. I am okay with that.
Oh, no. He didn't take it. He swung at it and fouled it off.
Oh, damn you.
Swinging
yeah,
strike.
Definitely.
He's 0-2.
Definitely something you got to do something with there. He was thinking your way, though. He's going to give me a fastball because he has to throw a strike, which he hadn't, other than the one that hit Salvi. I don't know if he's throwing a fastball yet. Fastball up. MJ's kryptonite. Doesn't even have to be a good fastball either. That's the thing that gets me. Down 0-2. Gets a fastball at the top of his head. Come on, MJ, be a hero. God dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. That's a little bit rough.
Right now, Josh, you are correct. Damn. Well, if the Orioles come back in this game, we are going to be looking at that opportunity right there and the one that Gurriel had earlier. And I know it was with 2 outs, but this is the playoffs. You're facing a concentration of better pitching. You're going to be going to bullpens heavily, especially with the situation that Orioles are in right now. You have to be able to get some hits with two outs. And
well, I will say this. One of the things that's going to work against the Orioles as they move through this game is the fact that they went to the bullpen so early. So the more you have to rotate through bullpen pitchers, through relievers, the more likely you are to run into one who does not have his stuff that day. And hopefully in that moment now, I might argue that was that guy.
That guy does not have his stuff today. He hit a guy, he walked a guy on 4 pitches, and then he left a couple, or he left with at least one right in the heart of the plate for him, and he didn't do anything with it.
Right. But he also came in with the advantage of having 2 outs when he came in. Right. And so you're going to run into it.
He also came in with the advantage of facing MJ Melendez right now.
Well, remember, he came in to face Salvador Perez.
Oh, yeah.
But it was an advantage to face MJ Melendez as well. I mean, he's not swinging it real well right now. And so we'll see if that factors into decisions of whether or not Melendez should play a ton moving forward against right-handers. I think Quatrero is more of the mind.
Well, let me put it this way:
what the numbers say.
Yeah, and Josh brings up Pham here. You can't tell me that. I mean, Tommy Pham's struggling right now, but you can't tell me he doesn't put together a better at bat than what that was.
Yeah, he might. He might, because that was bad. But let's be honest, it wasn't bad just because of that last swing decision. It was bad because he didn't connect with the pitch that he swung at, that he should have swung at, that sweeper right down Broadway and pitch on 0-0. He swung at it. He just couldn't connect. And that shows that he's just not feeling it right now, that his swing and his timing are not where he wants them to be. And so when that happens, you miss pitches you should connect on.
Great pitch. Great curve. Great. See, that's why I love Lugo's curveball. Great curveball to start this at bat out against Mullins.
Yeah. You throw a curveball down there, it's always going to be really tough to do anything with it.
So he's at 67 pitches now. I mean, he's gone deep in games all year. If he can keep clean innings together, he's gotten through 7.
Mullins works it back to 3-2. He's clearly feeling pretty good about himself as a hitter right now. Uh-oh. All right. Well, the game is now tied.
I haven't seen it yet. Mullins is going to take him out.
Yep.
Damn. Oh boy, that was the pitch to do it on too.
Yeah.
Just a mistake right over the heart of the plate.
And we've seen Lugo make maybe one other mistake this game that wasn't punished, but that was a clear mistake to a hitter who's swinging a good bat right now. And so he had a good hit or two yesterday. He's clearly seeing it well. And so, hey, solo home Melendez. Run, solo home run better than 3-run home run. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's the pitch he needed to throw on that last one, and that one still gets a single. Dang.
Yep. So Urias singles, and it's the 8-9 hole hitters that are doing all the damage for the Orioles this series.
So who's the first guy you're probably bringing in?
Let's see here. Depends on when he's coming in. Ooh. Depends on when he's coming in. If he's coming in, if Lugo makes it through this little rough patch and he comes in the 7th, then it might be Sam Long, right? If he's coming out after this inning, it might be Daniel Lynch. It might be.
He may be coming out in this inning.
Angel Zerpa. If I got a guy or two on, it might be, and a lefty coming up, it might be Angel Zerpa.
Zerpa's warming up.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got, where are we at? So, right.
We're at the leadoff guy right now. He's having a little bit of trouble in this inning locating. He's inconsistent with that 2-seamer right now.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to find it. He's still throwing it. He's had one or two good ones, but he's had a couple of really bad ones.
Yeah. They need a ground ball double play here. They could really use a ground ball double play right here.
Walked him. Damn.
Which makes me wonder if Zerpa's coming in because he is a ground ball guy. Oh, they're going to leave him in for Westberg at least. I believe Santander is a switch hitter.
He is.
So we'll see if they want Santander to hit right or left-handed.
Whichever one he is.
You got to
power
imagine.
For.
You got to imagine Lugo probably doesn't get beyond Cowser if he hasn't gotten some sort of double play, or if he gives up. If he gives up any more, contact or.
What happens?
Fielding error. Seth Lugo, bases loaded, nobody out.
Yep. Little dribbler out in front of the mound. Killer.
It is rough. Well, it's not unheard of that somebody would get out of this situation. I'm not entirely sure that someone will be Lugo, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're looking to limit the damage here.
Yeah.
You're already into the Orioles bullpen. It hasn't been a very good bullpen. So
if you can get out of this with one run given up, you'll take it.
One more run, yeah. You've already given up the one.
One more run given up.
If you end the fifth down 2-1, you definitely take that. And that's how they're set up defensively too, to get a double play. The only guy playing in is at third.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that Lugo will stay in to face Cowser, because that's huge. Infield fly ball. Santander pops out to Yuli Gurriel.
Fantastic. Yes. That is so huge.
Huge.
Now a double play ends the inning.
And we're talking about a guy in Zerpa, if they choose to bring him in. You're talking about a guy in Zerpa who has been very hot recently, who has been very good since coming back up in a week or two into September. He came back up and has just been nails for the Royals since then. Now, we'll see if they actually.
Looks like Zerpa's that's what they're doing.
In. Yep.
Zerpa.
Here comes Inhale Zerpa. If you don't know about him as a pitcher, lefty, he throws a fast sinker up near 97, 98 miles an hour. A guy who really can really bring it. But he's also a ground ball guy. He gets a lot of ground balls. This is specifically a move to get a ground ball so that they can turn two.
Ground ball percentage this year, 58%. That's extremely high.
Extremely high ground ball rate for him.
The biggest stage he's ever pitched on in his life, by the way.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we need you guys are correct. The offense can't do this and expect to beat the Yankees or anything like that, because you're going to give up runs. So hopefully we can get out of this.
As much as we would love Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo to come out and play like Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling in 2001 playoff run, that is unlikely. Man, if Lugo just doesn't make a hash of that dribbler, they find a way. They got 2 outs and 2 on right now instead of 2 outs and 1 out and bases loaded.
Yeah, and depending on how you like him against, is it Cowser that's up now?
Yeah.
Depending on how you like him against Cowser, you maybe even leave Lugo in. The Royals' current record, like of 1-0 in the playoffs, or
this might be a bot. I'm not entirely sure.
Are you a bot? Tactical? Be honest. Yeah, Zerpa, we need you, bud. We need you. Mark, I don't know if you guys know this. Mark built the Inhale Zerpa bandwagon. Proud driver of it to this day.
Proudly take ownership of that. Let me just reference my record of building bandwagons for guys.
Hunter
I also
Dozier?
no. What?
Brad Keller built that one
none
too.
None of these are true. These are all lies. So don't listen to them. Alec Marsh, I might have built that bandwagon.
Yeah, you were a Marsh guy.
I can't remember who else, honestly. Seth Lugo. I was really banging the drum for him even before they signed him. Like, hey, go sign him. That worked out pretty well. So
I can't stop yawning. All right, Zerpa.
Strikeout or ground ball double play will do.
And Cowser can run a little bit and is left-handed. So
I don't it's tough to double up a left-handed hitter like Cowser, generally speaking.
Oh, he swung at that and it hit him.
Yep.
That is a swing.
That is a swing.
He's calling it. Okay, good. The umpire's calling it. But he just swung when it hit him. And he's hurting pretty bad. They're debating now, is it a foul ball or is it a strike? I guess it doesn't matter either way, but oh, that hit him right on the hand. Right on the hand.
Is he hurt? Are they?
The trainer's looking at his hand right now. It's probably one of his fingers. He is coming out of the game.
Well, that's sort of a double punch to the stomach if you're an Orioles fan, right? Like you get a strikeout there in the big moment, but you also might lose Cowser.
Oh, that was right on the knuckles. Dang. Boy, tell me you're amped up to do something big when you're swinging at that pitch.
Was he throwing 87-mile-an-hour sliders out there?
All right, Adley Rutschman.
Oh, wow.
Superstar. Has struggled offensively in the second half. Did not do very well yesterday. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Angel Zerpa. Here we go. Just need an out. Former Oregon State football punter. Kicker. I think he was the kicker.
No, I think he was the punter. I think you're right.
Was he the punter? I thought he was the kickoff specialist.
I think he did kickoffs. Yeah, I think he did kickoffs.
Boy, Zerpa's amped too because he's throwing 98.
Yeah. He needs to get amped and throw some strikes.
Yeah, he does. Do not walk in the go-ahead run here. He just right down the middle.
Yep.
Right down the middle, 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Like, if you can hit it, I guess.
Zerpa's the one who's going to give me the brain aneurysm that finally kicks it all off here. All right. You got 2 strikes on him.
Yes. Now. Rutschman grounds out.
Oh, yeah. Woo! Woo! Blood pressure. Down a little bit lower now than what it was about 20 seconds ago.
Somebody get me a cheeseburger to get this blood pressure back up. Oh, Zerpa comes in and once again delivers a clean inning in the most crucial moment with the bases loaded. Comes in and does his job to a fantastic degree. You cannot say enough about the turnaround of this bullpen with guys like Sam Long, with guys like Chris Bubich, with guys like Angel Zerpa coming back stronger, trading for Lucas Erceg. That has been the thing more so than anything that might give them a chance to actually make a playoff run here. Because it's clearly not going to be their offense pounding balls out of the yard because that's not happening right now. Zach, you ask how we looking? We're looking like we're dancing on the pin of a needle right now. We are doing our best to scrape by because the Royals are up 1-0 and they are
tied 1-1.
Or sorry, tied 1-1 now, but they are still in this game in a way that they maybe shouldn't be after having the bases loaded with nobody out there.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see who they bring in then for the 6th. First time of these playoffs that their
Travis
bullpen's going to
asks
be.
here, why did they not allow the run if it was ruled a strikeout? And the answer is because he swung and it hit him. The swing constitutes a strikeout, but the ball hitting him constitutes a dead ball, and so nobody can advance.
Very interesting to see who. Yeah, it does. That was it. Very interesting to see who they bring in here in the 6th too, for the Royals, because it'll be the first time we've seen them. Probably not one of their, top 3 guys. It'll probably be somebody else. So, could be interesting to see who they decide to go with.
Yes, MJ did not come through in that bases loaded situation. The Royals have left a few men in scoring position today. A few scoring opportunities that weren't cashed in. And hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them. Hopefully they find a way to open it up here in the last few innings. Or here, I guess, in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th. Because you would hate to waste what was a good pitching performance from Lugo, and who was only pulled because of the fact that this is the playoffs. But that and Zerpa coming in and doing his job as well. You'd hate to waste that by not scoring any runs here.
I might bring Lynch in for the 6th and see
if I
can't get him.
On who is up next. So coming up next, you have O'Hearn, lefty, Mountcastle, righty, Mullins, lefty. Wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to bring Lynch in. They might also just let Zerpa stay out there.
Or that. I could see that.
10 pitches. And so I'd either say leave Zerpa out there or go to Lynch. You don't have to worry really at all about utilizing too many relievers in this situation because you have just a bullpen full of them right now. And so
are you a little surprised they didn't? I mean, I guess if you wanted a ground ball, but Brady Singer's a ground ball guy. Are you a little surprised they didn't go to Singer there?
I am not, because the fact that what's his name was coming up. Who was the first one that was up? Cowser. Because Cowser was up is why they went
lefty.
To Zerpa.
Okay.
Lefty, yeah. Right? And then I don't know if Rutschman is better from the left side or the right, but if he's better from the left side, they were probably like, let's get him on his right side with Zerpa. And so, yeah, I think they were thinking ahead to who was in the lineup there.
Do we think the Royals are doing good? Yeah, I think the Royals are doing good. I think I think the offense needs to pick it up. I'd love to see some runs scored in this inning as they make a change to go away from Webb and bring in somebody.
Not.
Yeah, they did.
Not to start the 6th.
He got Renfroe. He struck Renfroe out. Now they're going to somebody else.
Going to Perez.
Yeah. Is Perez a lefty to face Isbell?
To face Isbell, and Garcia and Massey, I imagine. Jamal might also be a bot. I'm just throwing that out.
Jamal, are you a bot? If you are, you have to tell us or it's entrapment.
Okay. Cows are staying in the game there, it looks like.
Is he? He can't be, can he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he struck out. I guess he can.
Yeah.
Well, that means not a broken finger, although that would have looked like a broken finger to me. Shows you what I know. All right.
Dr. Mead over here. Oh, Jamal says he's not a bot. All right.
Oh, we're good.
Do you think
Welcome,
the Royals
Jamal.
are doing good? I think they're doing as well as they possibly can. Uh, I think they're doing well relative to what people's expectations were. The Orioles were, of course, favored to win this series. The Royals are currently up 1-0 in the series and tied 1-1 in this game. And so I think they're doing pretty well relative to expectations. I do wish they would score some more runs. I think they've missed some opportunities on that front this game, but hopefully we can get it here in the sixth.
Isbell on occasion does like the drag bunt. Just saying, this guy, when he throws, follows through kind of hard to the right side. So
Isbell's up 3-0 on this.
Oh, is he? He's 1-0 for me.
Okay.
Well, yeah, heck yeah. Get yourself a walk there, Isbell. Yeah, this Orioles bullpen has been very lackluster. The very obvious weak link on this team this year. So the deeper you get into it, the worse it's going to get. So hopefully we can do some
Isbell
damage
singles
here.
On a ground ball to third.
All right. I'll take it. Just need you on base, man. Just need you on base. Oh, the old sky ball off the plate. I believe is what
love to see it. I'll tell you, the Royals could use some of those breaks coming their way.
Couldn't tell if that was off the plate or just in front of it. I think that bounced off the plate. Boy, busting his butt down the line, too.
Oh, yeah. He's a real dirtbag. I love it.
Urias probably should have let Henderson take that ball. That was a good pitch. That was a 98-mile-an-hour sinker from Perez there on the edge.
Good stuff. Difficulty controlling it, it looks like.
He just got a little bit of a helpful call there. Now Michael's down 0-2.
Damn.
You strike out?
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one of them takes that chopper off the plate. Neither of them are getting.
Boy, Garcia looked really on Corbin Burns yesterday. He's not looked fantastic today.
When he is more selective, he is better as a hitter.
All right, Massey, top of the lineup. Find a way to get on and let Bobby knock one in. Here we go.
There we go. Michael Massey singles.
He does?
Yep.
Bobby, I want to hear you at home. Let's go. Bobby.
They need a big 2-out hit. They've needed one for weeks now, and they haven't gotten it. And, you know, whether we're talking about MJ or Renfroe, I think had an opportunity earlier, you know. Yeah, the bases may not be loaded.
had an opportunity
but one
earlier.
run would be huge here. One run would be a big deal.
First and third here. So Massey, I'd take a wild pitch. This guy's he got some control issues.
They're bringing in a wild pitch. Doesn't matter because they're bringing in someone else. Yennier Cano. And I haven't looked, but I will put decent money on Cano being
Josh
a right-hander.
Gets it.
He is.
Josh says he got some side eye from his wife for chanting in the house. Always. Every other day. Yeah, Zach gets it too. Come on, Bobby. We need you. Remember the Grand Slam last year on the inside 100-mile-an-hour fastball? We need that again.
Yeah, except 3-run home run.
Yeah, it would be a 3-run home run this time, but I'd take it. Let's go. I'm going to take a look at what they say about this Cano fella. He's one of them long-armed kind of slingers, it looks like. 60 innings this year. He's got a 3.15 ERA. He's got 1.1 innings pitched in the postseason. Let's see here.
See, Massey will pull anything. All he wants to do is pull balls in the air. Not interested in the opposite field at all. Love him for it.
Looks like he's a big strikeout guy.
Well, I'm sure. Bobby's got to stay patient here. Cano's a new pitcher coming in. You got to force him to throw you a premium pitch that you can do something with.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about I know the numbers overall for the Orioles bullpen are pretty bad, but so far this year, it looks like Cano has been pretty good. And last year too. But this is Bobby Witt Jr. He is maybe the best player in baseball. And so here we go, Bobby.
Yeah.
Guy's undoing his pants on the mound. I am not joking. They're just like, eh. All right, Bobby.
95-mile-an-hour sinker. All right.
Yeah, so Bobby was taken all the way on that first one. It was definitely one you can hit.
Yes!
I did. What happens?
I don't know. It just says in play runs.
That's all we care about.
Single, ground ball to second baseman Jordan Westberg. Kyle Isbell scores, Massey to second.
Yes! Way to go, Bobby. Just a legend in the making. Oh, hits one right up the middle. Yeah, you're not going to get him with his speed. Yes! That a boy, Bobby. Let's go. Absolute legend.
You're a legend. Right back after.
Way to go. Now Vinny's up. Lefty against a righty.
You never know. Lefty against a righty. They don't want a Cano Pasquantino matchup right now. I'll tell you that right now.
2 hits already today. There we go. You know what? Gerard Dyson is fist pumping right now, screaming, "That's what speed do."
Yep.
Okay. You can knock on the Royals for swinging at everything, but they draft and they develop and they go out and get athletes, and way to go, Bobby Witt Jr. The better play might have been to second base on that, but 92-mile-an-hour changeup from Cano there.
Yeah, it's power stuff from him. Not much separation from that changeup and that fastball. Only about 4 miles. You typically see
Reminds
somewhere
me
in
of
7 to 12 range.
Herrera. Remember Herrera's was somewhat similar to that.
Power changeup from Herrera.
Yeah.
Power everything.
Oh, my AirPods are about to die. Luckily, we've got plan B right here.
Good, because I will come through. So, yeah. Good plate appearance from Vinny there. Walks to load the bases here.
Not sure where the
loading the bases for Salvador Perez.
Pretty sure I've got one somewhere.
Oh, I'm old. Beat it out, Bobby. That's a great name.
Walked Vinny.
Yes, they just walked Vinny.
Oh, I thought I had a plug-in for these. Hang on.
Mike is facing technical difficulties.
Ba-boom. Say something to me.
Hello. Salvi is currently down 0-2 here. A couple of inside fastballs, or sorry, one was a slider and then a 97-mile-an-hour sinker. Fouls off a slider. Yeah, he can expect to see sliders away basically for the rest of this at bat.
There we go. What?
Salvi can expect to see basically sliders away for the rest of this at bat.
Probably not in the strike zone, I would imagine.
No, if he can help it, it won't be in the strike zone. Yeah.
Give me some insurance, though. Yeah. Oh, foul ball. Okay. Whew. Nope, not my work computer. I don't mix my work with my podcast and stuff.
Damn it. Salvi swings at a ball way out of the strike zone and strikes out.
All right, well, we got the lead. Here we go. You bringing Sam Long in for the 7th then? Or the bottom of the 6th, I guess? Probably not the bottom of the 6th.
Either
Lynch or keep Zerpa in.
Lynch or Zerpa.
Yeah.
And with the game as close as it is, you also want to prepare for the contingency of extra innings. And so if you want to think in terms of like, we need to keep some guys in reserve in case this game gets tied up, you might say, let's not scrap Zerpa just yet because he's only thrown 10 pitches. Let's bring him back and have him face the 3 or the 2 lefties that are up this inning. Because who are we getting this inning? We're getting O'Hearn, Mountcastle, and Mullins. They might decide.
Those are the guys you want him going against. I think you don't want him going against the top of the order either. So,
right?
Yeah, I would stick with Zerpa here.
Now the Orioles might decide that they don't like O'Hearn facing Zerpa. They're more interested. If they're thinking like, hey, we got to play for right now, we got to get this run back, they might pinch hit for O'Hearn. But if not, they're going to let O'Hearn hit and say, well, maybe he can put one out for us and tie this game up, So we'll see on that front. O'Hearn 1 for 2 so far. Mountcastle 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Mullins 1 for 2 with that home run and a strikeout. There'll be the next 3 hitters.
Oh.
Yeah, Josh, you said it. You do have to take the bad with the good. Salvador Perez is a borderline, perhaps even Hall of Fame player who's going to do a lot of production for you, but at times he's going to give you what he just gave you, which is an at-bat that does not look like it belongs in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. And he does have one of, if not the biggest hit in Royals history.
Yes.
So we love you, Salvi. Keep swinging. Swing away, as M. Night Shyamalan said in that movie that we all saw the ending to coming. Let's see. We got to be getting close to. Did you see the one team that they're keeping on the Bally's deal? Did you see that?
Yeah, the Braves.
Yeah.
Zerpa is staying in here, at least to face. And they did pinch hit for O'Hearn with Slater.
Yeah, Travis makes a good point. The O's did have to go to the bullpen pretty early. And so, yeah, they're on pitcher number 5 or something like that already.
They're on pitcher number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. They're on pitcher number 5.
Yeah, that's not going to set up great for extras, and it's not going to set up great for tomorrow if they do win this game. So, that's
what they got to do. I mean, that's really just a function of them losing yesterday. They have no choice but to play this game like every run means everything.
Yeah, I saw something I thought said, like, since the new format began where they're doing the 3-game series in the wild card round, the team that has won the first game is 8-0. Is that right in the series?
I thought I saw that they had lost once,
or one time. Okay.
Pretty
either
overwhelming.
Way, it gives you a massive, massive advantage strategically in the rest of the
What?
Oh, Josh got my was it Signs? I think that was the name of the movie. My Signs joke with Joaquin Phoenix and Mel Gibson.
Virginia just says nobody scores with the bases loaded. Not in this game. Not in this series.
Good strikeout there for Zerpa.
Good start off the inning. And then Mountcastle.
I still cannot believe Cowser swung at that ball that hit him. They're showing the highlights right now. They just really,
you don't. I mean, you see it occasionally, but I don't know that I've ever seen such a committed swing. He was like all the way around by the time it hit him. I mean,
and it didn't. And usually when you see that, it's from a righty to a lefty, and it's on like a ball that hits him on the back foot like a slider,
right? Something like that.
You don't often see.
Although, if you'll recall,
something. I mean, that thing would have. If his hands would have been there, that thing would have hit him in the chest.
Or sometimes you'll see somebody like Isbell earlier in the year. You'll remember he broke his nose, fouling a ball off into his face, a ball that would have hit him had he not swung, right?
Yeah.
And so he essentially swung, made contact, and it went into his own face, but he was going to hit him anyway. So sometimes you'll see something like that, but it's pretty rare that you see somebody so committed.
I don't know if Travis is coordinating with someone, but somebody just sent us a text with that exact quote.
Yes.
No lie. Somebody just sent us a text. Eric Oxer of West USA Realty just sent us that text. Yeah, if Zerpa's good, that's a big building block there for your next year's bullpen. A place that a bullpen that still looks maybe a little shallow at times. And, bullpens are always volatile and attrition is huge in bullpens. But if he can be a piece, then you still got, you got Ursig coming back. You got Bubic. Question on, do you keep Bubic in the bullpen next year? Or do you let him fight out for a starting spot?
I think
they're going to Schreiber.
I think some of that depends on things like, does Waka come back? Is Kyle Wright ready to go? That sort of thing. But I think likelihood is you give Chris Bubic a chance to move into to fight for a rotation spot in spring training alongside Kyle Wright, alongside Daniel Lynch, maybe alongside maybe even Noah Cameron or something like that. And then if it doesn't work out, then you can always transition him to the bullpen, or you're not going to want his innings to be you're not going to want him to pitch 200 innings next year because he's still coming back off that Tommy John's. And so you might just say, hey, yeah, you made the rotation, but at some point we will be transitioning you to the bullpen to protect you from throwing so many innings, because obviously he can't throw a full season's worth of innings as a starter next year.
A little surprised they went to Schreiber here.
Why?
It is the bottom of the lineup. Just because I don't know. I felt like they'd keep going with Zerpa, honestly. I know you get the righty matchup here with Mountcastle, but
it surprises me that they would do it with Mullins coming up maybe, but the interesting thing about Schreiber is his profile as a pitcher might actually fit Mullins a little bit, because he's going to keep the ball down more. Everything he has is going to move down, and he's going to maybe keep Mullins in the yard, honestly, because Mullins has been having some really good power outcomes. You remember yesterday he hit the ball off the wall. Today he hit one out. You need to find somebody who's going to at least keep him on the infield if you can help it.
Yeah, and it does feel like that elevated fastball is Mullins' really only way to hit one out. I mean, he's not a bad power guy, but he's not a huge power guy, and so those
Schreiber
pitches
just struck
down.
Mountcastle out.
Way to go. Yeah, Mountcastle's looked a little aggressively high strung a lot today. He's swung at a lot of pitches out of the zone.
He's not in a good place up here right now.
Which is good. We'll take it because he's got some power too, so he can hit one out.
Schreiber. Yeah, Jerry, I understand the notion of anxiety, Schreiber-related anxiety. He's had some stretches that were not fantastic, but
he just threw a great pitch to Mullins to get the out. I mean, it was a two-seam fastball in that corner and got him to a harmless fly ball. So good inning there good two hitters there from Schreiber. But yeah, I think we've all been a little tense when Schreiber's been in there at times.
So this Travis must be the Travis I think it is then.
T-Bone?
Yeah.
T-Bone.
I have some of that Schreiber related anxiety too, but I do think it's important that we note that his improvement since coming off the IL has also been part of this bullpen's resurgence. He has pitched better since coming back, and his profile is specific to a certain group of hitters you want him to face. You know, the theory of the case for this Royals bullpen is not that they have a bunch of dominant arms. It's that they have guys who work well against specific hitters. And that's what Schreiber is. He's a guy who works well against some specific hitters. And so him and Zerpa being able to come in and take care of some business here has been a really important outcome. And now you're going to get to see, you're
going to get Long, Bubic, and Ursig
best
again.
relievers. We'll see. I don't know if they'll go with Long again. Bubic did struggle a little bit yesterday, not a ton, but a tiny bit. And Ursig had to come in and clean up the eighth a little bit. But we'll see on that one. I don't know. I don't have a specific. You are facing the top of the lineup again, and so whatever they do, though, I think they'll decide to do it very carefully.
You can go ahead and get me 4 or 5 runs here too.
Yeah, let's do that. Not even have to worry who comes in to relief.
We'll just leave Schreiber in the pitch.
Yeah, I hear you, Jerry. I age quite a bit as well here. So yeah, Travis, lifelong friend, Mike and I's in here. Love it. Yeah, the playoff anxiety is a real thing, but it's also an exhilaration, Love that too. My hair's pretty gray as is. You can see the grayness really coming through on Mike when he turns his head like that to the profile. Yeah. Look at that. That's Clooney-esque over there. That's
very Clooney.
That's just
my $20 Great Clips haircut that I need another one of, and my lack of hair.
Yeah. For those of you waiting for an update on Mike's professional stretching that he got, it was postponed. And
it was postponed.
And so that'll come maybe next week. And so we'll see then.
I just think I'm going to be limping out of that place too.
I do too. I think it'll be hilarious. I think it'll be hilarious.
All right.
Mike and I are competing in a cornhole tournament this weekend for All in Physical Therapy. So I anticipate us coming out on top, probably winning the whole thing.
Mark was an abject disaster last year. I mean, he let the team down so bad.
Yeah, MJ singles on a ground ball to left field.
Closing in on Steve Martin there. Love it, Jerry. Love it. Embrace it. Good work. And I'm catching, shit from former students here, even more gray in person. Yeah. Yeah, it's there's plenty of salt with that pepper. Hey, great opposite field single there from MJ. Could have used that a couple of at-bats ago, or an at-bat ago. But good to see him get on the board. Let's get him around here. You don't put, I know MJ's a decent base runner. You don't put Blanco in here, do you?
What inning are we talking
There's an
about?
out already.
Top of the 7th. probably not with an out already.
Oh, nope. They're bringing somebody in.
Oh, they're doing it. All right.
Yeah.
The only reason you would think
It's
maybe
not Blanco,
not is because he will get another chance to run. He will get another chance to hit, and so
they're bringing in Hampson for him. Hampson, good base stealer too. He hasn't had as many opportunities to run this year, but he is.
He's a good base stealer. You also don't have to burn another bench player with Hampson because Hampson will just go play left field.
Here. Yeah, well, so would Blanco. So, I mean, yeah,
Blanco might, but they don't love Blanco as a defender, I don't think. And so, I think they're thinking to themselves, Hampson, and then they could save Blanco for a pinch hitting or pinch running situation later in the game.
Yeah, I like that. I do like bringing in Hampson here, just mostly for the defensive aspect of it. You've got a guy who plays a good level of defense in left, with Isbell playing a good level of defense in center.
111 on that.
And there he goes, and he got gunned.
Yeah.
Did not get a great jump. And it was a pretty good throw from Rutschman.
Well, that's the danger you have there. And Hampson, for as fast as he is not a tremendous base stealer. Doesn't have tremendous instincts over there. So
he thinks he got in there.
Did he?
No.
He's no. Out.
All right, base is clear again. Got Renfroe up, who took some really good at bats against Eflin.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Making Cano field. Hey, did a pretty good job fielding. Okay. We're going to see who the Royals bring in for the bottom of the seventh.
Pitching and defense. That's what we've always said.
We've always said pitching and defense. How did we ever get 2 runs? All right.
That was a little closer. I'm just now seeing it on my screen. It was a little closer at second than you made it out to be.
Sorry, in slow-mo, it did not look all that close at all. All righty. Need to get me some. They're doing a Wigovi commercial right now. Need to get me some of that stuff. Yeah, Mason's right. Defense, yeah.
He's out.
Garrett Hampson's going to give you about nothing else than that defense. 26th man on your roster pretty much every year.
Oh, that's right. I forget Mullins is not the 9 hitter. So Urias will hit, then Henderson, then Westberg. Urias right-handed hitter. They'll definitely keep him in for Urias. They might just leave Schreiber in here. They might say, like, we'll take Urias. If nobody's on base, we'll bring in Henderson, or we'll have him face Henderson, and then Westberg, who's also right.
That's my thing. If anybody gets on, so you need somebody else warmed up already, in my opinion.
Oh, if you don't like Hampson's glove, Jerry, you really shouldn't like Pham's glove, because he's way worse defensively. Now, maybe you pinch hit Pham for Hampson when he comes up again in the 9th, because Hampson will get a chance to hit probably in the 9th. And so maybe that's a situation where Pham works better. But if you still have a lead, you're probably just leaving Hampson in so that he can be your defense, because it's more important to play that good defense later than it is to get some more offense in there. They might leave Schreiber in.
Well, no, you can't do that.
City
if
Royale.
they don't like Blanco's glove and left, say you could pinch hit Pham in the 9th for him and then bring Blanco in to play defense. But if they don't like him in left, then
yeah, it looks like it is Schreiber staying in to face Urias. And we'll see if they let Schreiber face the top of the lineup as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but I don't see.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't want to call it a luxury because every game in a 3-game series is so important, but you're up 1-0. I think if they're down 0-1, Schreiber's not in there.
I think if they're down 0-1, Schreiber definitely doesn't stay in after Urias.
I don't think he does that either way.
He may not. He may not.
Although he's really locating right now. I will say that. Yeah. He is locating at the bottom of that zone with a fastball that's a lot harder than what he was throwing earlier this year.
Yeah, he's sitting 94, 95 right now.
Yeah, we did see in City Royale, we did see him make some big-time gaffes on the bases, especially in the first half this year from Hampson. Some real head scratchers, and that's when he wasn't hitting at all either.
But if you look at the overall numbers, his speed in the outfield, his speed gives him a lot more range in the outfield than a Pham, and so he's going to get to a lot more than a lot of guys. Basically, he's probably the fastest left fielder in the league if he's playing left field, and so
another strikeout for Schreiber, man. He's on one.
He's a guy who, is going to do some good things for you in the outfield, even though he might have the occasional gaff in there.
Yep. They are going to the bullpen after
Out comes Schreiber. In comes Sam Long to face Henderson and Westberg. You'll remember that, I guess because he's not starting the inning, Long will have to face both Henderson and Westberg. They cannot bring a guy in just for one hitter anymore. And so back in the day, you would have seen Sam Long come in, face one lefty, and then come out. Now he's got to face both the lefty and the righty in Westberg.
Yeah, City Royale throwing out some just gems here. Good job, City Royale. You're right. That and they're right on the broadcast. The Schreiber injury was kind of a blessing because, Mark and I joke all the time about the old shadow IL stuff, but some of those guys get hurt and then they get a chance in their rehab to really work on some things. Or a lot of times they're just fixing things that have gone wrong mechanically or, recovering their arm because it's been through so much. And he pitched a lot early in this year. Like he was a guy that was going like every day and the only guy that was having success for a little stretch in that bullpen. So that IL stint was a little bit of a blessing. Because shoot, he's been good. He was really good there. Pham or Renfroe for defense. I give the nod to Pham on defense.
I say Renfroe.
You're talking Renfroe two different guys. Pham will have better range. Renfroe better arm.
Pham might have better range. His range numbers are also very bad, and he is very slow. I chose Renfroe because he has the top-notch arm. We saw it earlier in this game have an impact when Santander didn't try and take third on a single because the ball was hit to Renfroe, and Renfroe has such a good arm. If Pham's out there in right field, I'll bet you Santander takes off for third, and we're talking about a different situation. And so the arm is not as valuable as the legs for an outfielder and the range, but if guys have roughly similar range, then a good arm can have a little bit of extra benefit.
I'll take Pham's range personally. Personal preference there, but neither one is going to dazzle in the outfield.
All right, buddy. Let's just take a look at this. Let's make this a little quantitative.
Oh, damn right, good curveball from Sam.
In terms of his range rating on Baseball Savant, he is in the 30th percentile.
Pham?
Yes.
Good job getting ahead by Long here on Henderson. He's got 0-2.
That's huge.
Yeah, the first two looked really good too. So
Renfroe is the 6th percentile.
The 6th.
Yeah.
The 6th.
Yeah.
94% better.
It's not good. Long strikes out Henderson.
Did you see that? Even the pitch that was out of the zone was very good.
Yeah. Long is
actually the worst pitch he threw was the one he struck him out on.
Now Westberg is no walk in the park here. He has some significant power on the right side. And obviously lefty versus righty is kind of the matchup they want, not the Royals, the Orioles.
Whoa, Virginia, don't put cart before horse. But yes, if they win this, they're going to have to produce some runs against the Yankees. And we saw them play pretty well in that Yankees series at Kauffman. can't remember the one we
play well. I think they played well in the Yankee series in New York. They just ended up coming up a little bit short.
You don't like the location on that slider, but he's mixing it up really well, and they're ahead of Westberg here too.
That's one of the features of this Royals bullpen. So many of their relievers have multiple pitches, more than just two. They have 3 or 4, and that is huge when you're talking about facing competent hitters who, if you have one pitch one night, if you don't have a pitch another night, it's hugely different. And so the ability to throw a changeup, to throw a curveball, to throw a slider, to throw a fastball or a sinker, that's huge.
City Royale is backing me on the FAM thing.
On the FAM thing.
Point for Mike. He's now up 5-0 on Mark.
I didn't know that Renfroe's range was quite that bad.
Yeah, I looked it up earlier this year, so that's how I knew. But yeah, he's got just nowhere. He just goes nowhere. But he's old,
He's not that old.
Even young Renfroe didn't have a ton of range. Did he get on?
Yeah, Westberg walks.
Yeah, he worked it back to 3-2. I haven't seen the walk yet, but that's okay. 2 outs. Nothing hurt yet. Got a lefty coming up here.
No, Santander is a switcher.
Oh, is Santander up next? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason,
a lot of power.
Oh yeah, Henderson.
Now, of course, you'd rather face him as a righty because it is just harder to hit the balls out to left than it is to right field, and so in that sense, you prefer this, but you'd still rather not have walked Westberg.
Yeah, go ahead, run, coming to the plate, and a guy with pop. Long just has to be careful with that fastball.
Santander flies out to center field.
All right. Yes. And a boy Sam Long.
That's another. What a pickup.
That's another one. Yeah, that's another. I can't remember. I think Josh brought it up earlier. If Zerpa can really go, and Long looks like now he's taking a step forward, the bullpen for next year. Although Long is Long going to be a free agent because he wasn't a.
I believe he's on like a 1-year minor league deal, and so yeah. Okay. But sometimes people ask me snarkily, or they say something real cynical about when we cover the signing of like non-roster invitees and stuff like that, or these like what seem like very minor things like the Rule 5 draft and stuff like that. Here's why. Because those guys can end up providing you that little bit of value that means so much to your team. So Sam Long has been a very, very, very good reliever for a bullpen that was desperate for good relievers for 3/4 of this year, right? And they got him for dirt cheap, and he's providing so much value as a result of that. And, bullpens themselves are very volatile, so you can find those type of guys all over the place. It's just such an asset the Royals have in Brian Sweeney and Zach Bove that they can find those guys for very little money and turn them into valuable pitchers for them.
And I thought that was going to be Dan Altavilla, but it was not.
And you thought that, hey, Dan Altavilla has thrown for them this season, so they got some sort of value out of him. He hasn't been the stalwart we'd hoped because he got hurt, but it also could have just been effectiveness. I don't know. But, you sign 5 of those guys. If one of them becomes an important part of your bullpen, you have done a very, very good job. And so the Royals did a great job getting Sam Long. Now we'll see Isbell, Garcia, and then back to the top of the lineup. They've brought in left-hander Gregory Soto to face Isbell, Garcia, and Massey, mostly for Isbell and Massey, obviously.
It seems like Isbell has led off innings a couple of times now, and we've just been saying one of those guys get on so that Bobby can get on. That's what we did when they scored their last run, basically.
Yeah.
Or no, was that their first run? Their first run. But that's the same situation here. One of those guys has to get on and in scoring position for Bobby Witt Jr. That's the goal here. Give us an insurance run so we're not, I'm already sweating a lot. I don't want to be sweating a lot. I'm always sweating a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Mostly when he eats.
Yeah. It's quite impressive, actually. So hopefully we can get an insurance run or 2 or 5. Yeah, they brought in Soto's a muscled up lefty. He's jacked. Big strikeout numbers for Soto as well.
Big time fastball for Soto.
Oh, yeah. That was a sinking fastball, 97.
My feet is basically caught up now. And so.
It looks like he just got here this year from Philly.
Yeah, a couple rough outings early on.
Speaking of Philly, I tried to introduce my students to Boys to Men this week.
Hey, good idea. Everybody should be introduced to that at some point.
It did not take.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm not a kids these days guy, but kids these days. Am I right?
You know.
Hey, all right. Kyle Isbell walks.
There we go. Leadoff walks late in games.
Leadoff odds that Garcia bunts here.
Ooh. I'd have him bunt, probably.
I'd have him bunt. Hell yeah, I'd have him bunt. He hasn't looked good at the plate all day today. There's a decent chance he can beat it out. A decent chance that puts enough pressure the defense makes a mistake. Absolutely, I'm bunting.
I don't know what kind of athlete Soto is off the mound, but well, hopefully we're going to find out.
Since Sam Long is pre-arb, how does renewing his contract work? Do you only get to renew if he's been on your roster since call up? That's an excellent question. I really have no answer to that question, City Royale. I'd have to go dig into the rules for MLB contracts to figure that one out. Looks like Garcia couldn't get the bunt down first pitch. Looks like I just cannot believe he doesn't get the bunt down in the second attempt either.
He didn't?
Foul ball.
Damn it.
2 foul bunts.
You going to try him again?
To bunt? You don't bunt with 2 strikes.
You sure? In the playoffs when you kind of really, really want to run?
Well,
and a guy who hasn't hit at all? We'll see.
This is insane to me. So they did try again, and he fouled it off again.
Okay. You are a Major League Baseball player.
Given 3 opportunities to bunt there.
Isbell's already in scoring position. Here we go, Bobby.
Do you mean on first base because Bobby Witt Jr.'s up?
Because Bobby Witt Jr.'s up, yep.
Okay.
He's going to hit an extra base hit right here.
I mean, what's wild is it's not even that he got bad pitches to bunt. That last pitch was like a great pitch to bunt. Just get it in between the lines. Like, Isbell's pretty fast. You don't have to worry too much about them cutting him down at second.
Yeah, definitely got to get that bunt down. Oh, Tommy Pham.
Oh yeah, they don't want lefty here, and so they're gonna go Pham. There's your Pham for those who wanted him to get in here.
I don't know that they're taking him out. They're not taking him out. Just a mound visit. Oh, they can't. They can't take him out. He's only faced one batter or two batters. Yeah.
They can't take him out. They're questioning on the broadcast right now whether they should have taken Massey out, whether they should have pinch hit for him because he got 2 hits today, because he's a good defensive second baseman. You have a 1-run lead. That is a question to ask there.
Well,
I think if you're the Royals,
are they going to move Hampson to second, or do you think they bring Adam Frazier in to play second?
That could be a thing that they do. They could move Hampson to second, put Pham in left. I wouldn't bring Frazier in to play second. Just because, like I said, you don't know. This could go into extras. You got to keep some guys on your bench.
Yeah.
You can't burn them all making every little move, And so Pham is a much better hitter against left-handed pitching than Massey is. And so
no.
Well, that's exactly the opposite of what you wanted.
That's on the transfer, though.
On the transfer.
Yeah, I'm sure. But you still got a guy on.
Yeah.
For Bobby Witt Jr. So here we go, Bobby.
Yeah, do it again. Jerry, it was a real questionable call. We're talking 55%, 45% kind of a move. And so, yeah, Jerry's not happy about the inability to get the bunt down. I'm not either. Worthy of a challenge there, I think, because you're in the 8th. So the Royals are going to challenge.
They're going to lose.
Royals are challenged. Yeah, they're going to lose probably.
They're going to lose that one.
It's worth challenging just in case, because you never know.
That was actually, and I know, I don't know if they're saying it on the broadcast or not, but that's actually a really difficult flip from the shortstop to the second baseman there.
Yeah, it is.
To get enough heat on it to get it there is tough.
Yeah,
when you're moving that fast.
I wondered when Pham hit it if it wouldn't get through.
Yeah,
because he hit it pretty hard, 107 off the bat. But you hope for better if you're gonna pinch hit a guy like Pham. But Zach's getting the chance going in the chat, the Bobby chance.
Zach's thinking what I'm writing what I'm thinking right here.
Bobby. Reed, you're right. Escobar would have gotten it down.
That's right, he would have.
Escobar would have gotten it down. Nori Aoki would have gotten it down. Alex Rios would have gotten it down. Let's talk about a whole bunch of Royals role players who would have gotten
Mark
it down.
Grudzalonic gets that bunt down. All right.
Chris Getz was born to get that bunt down.
Yeah. I read a thing from them the other day. Did you read the statement that, is it Reinsdorf? I don't know who the owner of the White Sox is.
Reinsdorf, yeah.
But he put something out there and it just made me want to cry.
Because they're so bad and it's so hilarious.
It was like, well, basically came out and said, like, we're going to change everything, but we're not going to change anything in the front office. Like, how are you going to change everything if you don't change?
And you're not going to change everything.
You're really not going to change anything, probably.
No, certainly not your win totals.
They just tried to throw. He tried to throw something out like, we're going to do more with analytics and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, then why did you hire that group? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Bobby. If
Bobby Witt Jr. hits a home run here,
woo! Look out.
Yeah, Dairon Blanco would have gotten it down. That guy is made for late inning.
Actually, yeah, that's
small
true.
ball.
Dairon Blanco is their best bunter. And it would have been interesting to see him try and lay one down there.
But you're not going to take out Garcia in the late innings for that. His defense is too valuable. But you're right. Blanco gets it down. Garcia is a professional baseball player. You open every BP session putting bunts down. So you got to get one of them in play.
Especially if you are a guy like Garcia. Like, you're hitting 230 on the year. Like, you are, you have a 70 weighted runs created plus. You need to be able to get bunts down and get on base and move runners and do those little things if you're not going to be offensively productive. And so
now Blanco's in the game.
They put him in with 2 outs.
Yeah, they put him into pinch hit or pinch run.
That's not the worst idea because
he's got 27 steals as a pinch runner, according to the broadcast there.
He got you second base. And
he goes on the first pitch and he's safe
because
Bobby swung it up,
hit another single, and
yeah,
boom, that gets you a run.
I mean, he criminalized that. He was a fantastic jump on that steal. Yeah, get us something here, Bobby. I mean, I'd love one at the park. Yep. And the reason you probably do that, if that doesn't work out, if he gets thrown out there, then you're leading off with Bobby Witt Jr. in the top of the ninth, and he's your best leadoff hitter too. So
right.
He's your best everything. And so I understand why you send him there, and now you get a chance to get an insurance run. Here we go, Bobby.
Ooh.
Damn it.
What?
He's a little, he just got that strike high in the zone where we tried to check it.
Yeah.
He's just a little eager right now.
A little over anxious. Damn it. Bobby strikes out swinging. On a slider way outside the strike zone.
Maybe a tad over eager.
There.
All right. Bubich, shall we? You have a little allergies? Your ears itching a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was not that was in the left-handed batter's box.
By quite a bit.
All right, Bubich. Shake off last night. Get in there and dominate. Who we got coming up for them?
We have... Who got out last in the last inning?
I don't know, man. What am I? A good memory guy?
Oh, it looks like
Santander.
Kierstad is going to come in, pinch hitting for Kauser. Heston Kierstad, and then it'll be Rutschman.
I think it's
Kierstad's a lefty. And no, it's Kierstad.
Is it?
And then it'll be Rutschman and then O'Hearn. So I would be shocked if it's not Bubich. It is Bubich. Bubich will face those three because that's a lefty, a switch hitter, and another lefty. Or no, sorry. Lefty, switch hitter, and then technically a righty because Slater DH'd pinch hit previously. So I don't know what they'll do with Slater's spot in the lineup.
That was actually, yeah. Travis says that was Salvi range. Yeah, I've seen Salvi swing at that pitch thousands of times.
So many times. So many times have we seen Salvador Perez swing at that pitch.
But you cannot say Bobby Witt Jr. hasn't done his part today to help win this game. So,
and really the series, he's got the only RBI from yesterday. He's got at least one of the RBIs
today. Yeah. Vinny's got the other one.
Vinny has the other RBI.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Bobby. But it's his first postseason. It's a lot of these guys' first postseason, so they're going to be amped. They're going to be trying to win games, and that's why young teams very often don't win World Series, because whether it's young pitching or young hitting, we've seen guys. I mean, we saw Lugo throw 95, 96 in the first inning. We saw Schreiber throwing 94 and 95 miles an hour. You get just so amped up. The adrenaline is so high for these, especially in a short series like this. That's why I think that's why 14 was so impressive. That whole team was young. Nobody had experience. They just went out there and swung at everything, put everything in play, and let the other team make mistakes because they were nervous too.
Well, that was the interesting thing about that first game, that wild card game, coming back in that game and winning
it 8-2,
just created this wave that sent them all the way through the playoffs. Like after that, it felt like no team had a chance against them. The next two series were just a stomping, and so it was they had James Shields on that team. He had some playoff experience. But other than that,
did Wade Davis have a little with Tampa? I know he didn't pitch quite as much. Bubich just left a slider right over the heart of the plate. Luckily, he didn't hit it out. But he did get a nope. All right, weak little liner there. All right, Bubich. Let's see you locate that fastball.
So let's see here. Blanco goes to left. Renfroe is in right still. Hampson goes to second.
There we go. That's locating the fastball down and into Rutschman there. Right on the corner. Rutschman dislikes the pitch so much he takes his time out after the first pitch of the at-bat. You don't often see that.
Signs that a dude is not really
confident right now.
Confident.
Yeah. But I think what they say in the second half, he's hit like 200.
I thought it was lower than that. I thought it was like 130.
It may be. It hasn't been good. He's down 0-2 now. So you know what's coming. Change up.
And now you got a fastball first, then a change up. Yeah, it's interesting that looping liner that got hit from Kjerstad. We really got to appreciate the amount of range that Bobby Witt Jr. brings to the table from that shortstop position and how much it creates and how much it's a big part of their run prevention, honestly. So much range from that shortstop position. It's incredible.
Bubich might go to that fastball up and in here.
Looks like Slater will still hit.
Nope, one with the slider.
So Slater gets a single on a sharp line drive to center field. Mountcastle comes up. He's 0-for-3 today with 2 strikeouts. This Mountcastle plate appearance is a real interesting one because he has not been good today. And he continues to not be good by grounding out to short.
Yes!
So, yeah. It'll be Pasquantino, Perez, and Gurriel up in this is the 9th, right? I mean, this will be top of the 9th. See if they can tack on some insurance runs, and I'm sure Lucas Ursig is warming up. It'll be interesting to see who are they going to. They've used so many relievers at this point. Who are they going to? Who do they have left in the bullpen? Keegan Aiken, who was a big-time prospect at one point. I'm pretty sure he was drafted really high. Obviously, Burns won't pitch. Kramer probably won't either.
No, no. I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either. Cade Povich, we saw him yesterday, I want to say, but maybe not. I can't remember. Cade Povich, left-handed reliever. Colin Selby is a guy the Royals, I think, have seen quite a bit this year.
He played for the Royals.
To see him. Oh, yeah. The Royals know Colin Selby. But he's been pitching he's pitching in Baltimore right now. And so he's been pretty decent for them this year. He was not great for the Royals. Maybe only saw like one outing for them. I'm not sure. But not a ton of guys left who you would think they might go to in the 9th. Aiken, Povich, or Selby.
Yeah, I'd give the nod probably to the lefty since Pasquantino's leading it off.
Yeah, they do have then 2 righties though, and the guy's got to face all 3 of them. And so
yeah, but I want that first out with
Dominguez. Dominguez is going to stay in. It looks like, yeah. Face
City
Vinny
Royal
and
called
the
it.
2 righties. Yeah.
You are very much correct there, City Royal. 5 years of Ursig secured for, three minor league prospects, some of whom are possible major league contributors, but Ursig has been the biggest part of the bullpen turnaround. And just knowing that you have him at the back end for this long, assuming, he stays healthy, that's so huge because you can go out and fill some of those other spots for a lot less than what you're going to for a back end guy like Ursig. So that's absolutely huge. I would love to see an insurance run here. Vinny, tank one. Here we go.
Might be a little premature to call those prospects 4A players. Mason Barnett, I think, is a pretty solid prospect, and if the A's do well, developing him could turn into at least a back end starter. But you're right. Getting 5 years of Ursig is huge.
And just identifying that. I mean, being able to go, hey, here's a guy who doesn't get to really close at that time, although he had been closing a little bit because Mason Miller was hurt, but getting the chance to say, hey, there's a guy that has more control, has that kind of stuff, has the makeup to do it, and then bringing him in here. Fantastic. And honestly, I feel like he's been better here.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the command issues he had before he got here have smoothed out a little bit. And, I feel like they're having him throw maybe a little different pitch mix too. So what's going on here? Are they looking to see if it hit him? If it caught a little bit of his jersey?
Yeah, that must be it.
It did not. Well,
hey, a little bit of the jersey is still a bit. You get the base for that.
That might have grazed him. It may not be enough to
single thread of hanging.
It might not be enough. Vinny, I don't know why you moved. Let it hit you, man.
Is there any lint on that jersey? It could have just grazed.
He's probably like, forget this. I want to hit the damn thing. That's hard to tell. I think they probably stick with the call on the field, but they're super zooming in on the broadcast. You see that? It's like, hey, what do we need from Vinny Pasquantino? A crotch shot. That's what we need.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm just now seeing the pitch in live action.
They're doing every close-up, slow-mo thing, and they're going with the call on the field. 3-1 though. He may just walk him anyway. No, what are you swinging at? That's ball 4, man. I know you're slow, but get on base. Do they have anybody? Are they going to pinch run Adam Frazier for Vinny Pasquantino if he gets on here?
Moot, because he does not get on here.
Oh, well, dang it. Thanks for ruining my fun.
To Gunnar Henderson.
If he swings at ball 5 here, I'm going to be very disappointed, Vinny. Nope, it was probably a strike. Good pitch, too. 99 on the corner inside.
Salvi. Remember earlier in the year when he was taking some walks every now and again?
I do. And it seems like he has those stretches at the beginning of every year where they're like working with him in the offseason. He's got that approach going. And then, time goes on and he gets back into what he's always been.
Right. What happens is he gets hot and then he's like, I'm going to swing a lot because I'm hot. And he swings a lot. Never goes back to the being patient.
Yeah. Mason says Salvi ain't seen it at all. You are correct, Mason, because he let that first one go and it was right down the middle. 87 or something right down the pipe. And then he swings it 1.5 foot off the plate. But here's the one thing and I guess we're kind of, I'm going to mesh this in with a Chiefs point here. The thing they're saying about the Chiefs right now is, well, we're winning games and we aren't playing our best offensively. The Royals right now, if they're able to win this series, you're going, hey, they just won a series and they aren't having the best offensive production that they can have. We know Salvi can hit better than this. We know Bobby can hit better than this.
We know Vinny
at the very least, we know Vinny can hit better than this. And so, even though he's got 2 hits today, but we know that these guys can do that sort of stuff. So if they can hit a stretch where they get on one of those hot runs, we could see a big time playoff run because of that. And that's kind of, I guess, what I'm crossing my fingers for.
Well, Salvi hit it hard, at least.
What was the exit velo?
106. Exit
velo, and the ball's just not carrying there. It's kind of cold. It's the sun's not out and stuff like that. So, maybe that changes in New York or tomorrow if they have to play back in Baltimore. But, October baseball, the ball doesn't fly like it does in the middle of July. That's just how it is. Plus, Salvi's, again, has played 1 billion games this year, like he does every year. All right, Ursig, here we go. You know what we need? We need a fantastic closer nickname for Lucas Ursig.
That's tough.
I
feel like a lot of the great ones have already been taken.
Rivera was the Sandman.
Yeah, that was great. We remember that the Mexicutioner was
Soria.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gagne had a good one because he's Canadian.
I'm sure he had a good one.
The whole country of Canada was working on that one.
Josh with never thought I'd see the day where might win a playoff series scoring 3 runs. Yeah, might happen.
Yeah,
as Zach says, hold on to your butts.
I watched. I actually fun little side note here while we're in commercial. I watched the GQ, they do that series where actors explain.
Oh yeah.
I watched the Samuel L. Jackson one.
Oh, I still need to watch that.
It is fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Did they talk about Deep Blue Sea? Was that on there?
They didn't, but they cut to that. And that's not from Deep Blue Sea. That's from Jurassic Park, I think. Oh, because I think he was talking about that when he was.
He's not in Jurassic Park, is he?
I thought he was.
I don't remember him being in Jurassic Park.
I'm pretty sure he was talking about Jurassic Park when he talked about that, but it could be from Deep Blue Sea because I remember for sure he was in that one. But it was really good. I was enthralled because he's very good, and you forget how many awesome freaking movies that guy has made. But yeah. I've got a hunch they're due. Yeah. The old Major League quote. Just heard my kids stomping around upstairs. Okay. Ursig. I will take any creative nicknames that you guys can come up with on Lucas Ursig.
That'd be great. And we got a creative nickname for Lucas Ursig.
Josh says he gets eaten off screen. See? Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
I think they mentioned that in the thing. And I think he explains why he gets eaten off screen and he doesn't die on screen. The tersiginator?
Okay.
We'll call that Plan B because I can't even read it.
Yeah. Travis must have thrown the name Ursig into AI in some way, and it's Croatian and Serbian for a word that means Duke. If that helps anybody with an.
Oh well, there you go. Isn't there? I assume there's already a Duke. I know in like some baseball movies, there's been a couple guys nicknamed the Duke. But yeah, Lucas can be the Duke. I'm definitely down for that.
How about Dukas? Dukas or
no.
Okay.
No. What a changeup, man! What a pitch! Great job to get Mullins out quick on that one.
Yeah, you're talking about the Orioles' hottest hitter right there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Oh yeah, we got it, Zach. I picked up that, but I just can't read it. The Terseginator. Maybe I'm just not.
This is giving me Major League 2 vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. How about there we go. How about the masturbator? For those of you who are Major League 2 fans, the second, maybe third best of those movies. Yeah. I could go with the Duke though. I can go with that. Maybe
go with that as a nickname.
Yeah. You know, they've talked a couple times on the broadcast about his journey to get sober and how much that helped him. Maybe there's something in that. Maybe they can get creative there. Yeah. But damn, he is good. All right, here we go.
He is.
Urias. Probably shatting his britches right now. All right. Nice, easy ground ball. We are 1 out away from moving on, baby.
1 out.
1 out away. Here we go. 1 out away from the division series. Here we go.
Okay. Henderson, their best player, had a 160 weighted or maybe OPS plus.
He's been throwing that changeup a lot recently, which I love. It's a fantastic pitch.
I do too, especially against lefties because
the number of lefties they have in their lineup is quite a bit.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Josh, yes, John Wayne's nickname is the Duke, but that's movies. That's not sports. So we can have more than one Duke if it's not the same. Same thing.
Hi.
The Urkaholic. Yes, Reed.
Do you want me to tell you what happens?
Please do not tell me what happens.
Okay.
It is 1-2 on my feed, though. Get the strikeout. From a slider.
Yes! Yes!
Got him with the changeup. Way to go.
Moving on.
ALDS.
And we're moving on.
ALDS. With a day to rest, baby. Look at Lucas Erceg. JJ Piccolo, if I see you, I'm going to kiss you on the mouth for getting that guy. All right.
Kiss you right on the mouth. He'll ask for consent first, but we know you will.
Yeah.
And so,
look at Q in there just getting rowdy. All right, boys, you got a day to celebrate it.
Day to celebrate, headed into New York, and the Royals will face the Yankees in the American League Division Series.
The Yankees.
Yankees lose. Wow. I mean, the Royals were definitely the underdogs coming into this. Mike, we're going to talk for maybe 30 minutes if you have the time to create our Substack, a little post game here. I got some questions written down for you. What do you think was the big difference in this game? Why did the Royals end up winning and the Orioles ended up losing?
Honestly, and I never thought I would say this, the difference was the bullpen. Yeah. The bullpen was the difference here. I mean, we talked about Zerpa was fantastic in what they asked him to do to get out of that inning. Lugo was good. Lugo was really good. Lugo, like you said earlier, only comes out of this game because it's the playoffs, and Zerpa did exactly what he had to do. Schreiber looked better than I've seen Schreiber in a long time. Everybody looked really good in that bullpen. And so the fact that we can now lean a little bit on that group, especially when the offense isn't going, is fantastic to me.
Yeah, it is really, really important that the bullpen now looks like an asset. It looks like a weapon. And the matchups were played perfectly. I think Zerpa coming in against the people that he did. I think Schreiber coming in and doing really, really well. And let's face it, all these guys looked, probably because of the rest or the adrenaline of the moment, they looked like they had their best stuff in today's game. I mean, I don't know that I've seen Schreiber throw that well in quite a while. And then Zerpa has looked lights out for the last month. And so, getting that from them, and then Sam Long comes in and does his thing, and Bubic looks really good, and Erceg looks really good. It looks like a solid bullpen. What looked like a bullpen that in the middle of the year looked like it maybe had two guys in it you trusted Now looks like it has 6 guys in it you trust, right? Like you're talking about guys who I'm not sweating when they call Zerpa in. You know, I'm not sweating when they call Sam Long in. I'm not, you know, these guys have shown that they have what it takes to be successful, and they went out and proved it again today against maybe the best lineup in baseball, top to bottom.
Yeah, and just a real quick, because I know some of you probably leave. Huge thanks to all of you guys for joining us today for this. You know, when we get on here, you never know who's going to show up and who's not, and it was fun to cut it up with all of you. So we appreciate you being here, and we'll try and do it again, I assume, at some point. Hopefully for some games that are at night, so I don't have to scream home from work. But man, fantastic job, Royals.
Yes, totally fantastic. It was great to see. A second question following you up here, and I think that this is probably going to get under talked about in the wake of this game and this series. How did you feel about how Q managed this game and the last 2 games or the 2 games of this series?
I pretty well done. Like I thought it was great. Now I don't know that there was a lot of managing necessarily to do because yes, the bullpen today and figuring out those matchups, but I think a lot of that they kind of have figured out before the game. Like we know who we want to go to in this stretch of the lineup. We know in this inning, unless something catastrophic happens, they can pretty much follow a plan that they've made for the game. But he does make that plan. You know, he does with the help of Brian Sweeney and Zach Bove and the hitting side as well to a lesser extent. But yeah, you can't say anything. I mean, to me, Matt Quatraro is the manager of the year. Yeah. And I don't know if they base that just on the regular season or if it's both, but he did a masterful job. Sometimes as a manager, it's your job just not to screw it up and to go with the things that look smart on the surface. And I think he's at least done that and at times done a little bit better. Like I wouldn't have brought Schreiber in today. He brought Schreiber in today and it was beautiful. I mean, it was dominant. And so I have to give him a ton of credit.
Yeah, we have often talked about that there are managers who, most managers, if you're good at it, you don't add or lose any value for your team, right? Like you do what's supposed to be done and you're a neutral manager. I think Quatraro is better than that. I think he is adding small amounts of value frequently to this team with things like decisions to pinch hit, pinch run, you know, bring in the bullpen guys at certain times. You know, I think the decision, I don't know if it was called from the dugout, I'm sure it was, to have Garcia bunt was a good decision. It's not his fault Garcia couldn't execute it. But he's doing these little things to create bits of value for them all the time. And it's apparent in the ways in which they're winning these close games. I mean, the fact that we talk about today, but also it was apparent yesterday, you know, making sure Reagans gets out after he has that cramp and going to his trusted bullpen guys. Like there are just various things that he's doing and setting the lineup. People were very critical of putting MJ Melendez in the lineup today. He had an amazing defensive play that may have saved a run. And then he also came up with a hit today. And it's like, you know, it's these sorts of things that he knows to do that are sort of creating those little bits of value. I think he should be slam dunk manager of the year in the American League. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And so hopefully that he ends up getting the accolade he deserves. Mike, you brought up the bullpen. Let's talk a little bit more about it. Do you think that this bullpen can provide this type of efficient and effective production all the way through these playoffs? Or is this just a product of right lineup to face, the fact that they've pretty rested and all that sort of stuff?
Well, this might be the best lineup they face in the entire playoffs, honestly. Yeah. But I will say this. I do believe in the talent now of this lineup, at least a little bit, definitely more than I used to.
You mean the bullpen?
Yeah, sorry, the bullpen. And I think, I don't know, I don't expect to see that all clicking the way that it did in this series. The only real exception to that was a little hiccup there from Bubic, but you can bring in Ursig for more than an inning. So that's even more of a value that he provides. And Q pulled the trigger on that at the right time. And so I don't know that it'll all click like that in the Yankees series as we move forward, but it's definitely a bullpen that I feel like, you know, I feel like you've got more ability to strike guys out than we ever did. You know, and we haven't seen Brady Singer yet. There's going to be a situation where Singer is going to have an opportunity to help too. And so Yeah, I think this bullpen can continue to be an asset for the team. I don't necessarily know that, there's going to be guys who struggle at times in the bullpen, but I really think it's now an asset. It's now the second best part of your team.
Yeah, it really is. And in the playoffs, if you're like, I get to choose a few different aspects of my team to be the thing that we're really good at, you're going to choose the bullpen as one of those top things, because bullpens are so important in the playoffs. They're allowed to match up against hitters much more effectively. You have to have a pretty top-notch bullpen to do this. Now, I don't think did the Royals get any of their runs against the Orioles bullpen today? They may have gotten one.
I think their second run. Yeah, their second
run
was, I believe, against
so. Bullpen guy. But yeah, but really it was just the effectiveness of the Royals bullpen that you have to point to as a real asset in this two game series now, because they won both of them. And you have to think that moving forward, if they can find a team that maybe is struggling a little bit more in their bullpen, they can take advantage of that as well, because the Royals look like they have a solid back three with Sam Long, Chris Bubich, and Lucas Ursig, and a pretty solid set of guys after that.
Yeah. Especially when you throw a Singer in there.
I know. I was actually wondering if they might not put him in.
Or Lorenzen.
Yeah, it's Lorenzen. I checked. There is an N in there. I just forgot to put it on there. I know. Sometimes I misspell things. But yeah, I'm actually interested and excited to see Brady Singer get some bullpen time, because I wonder if, one, the velocity would be up coming out of the bullpen. And I wonder, he has strikeout ability. Could he really be a weapon against right-handers that maybe Schreiber isn't, which is more of a strikeout ability than Schreiber has? Although Schreiber lately I mentioned in the first part of the year that he was effective, but he wasn't striking guys out at the same rate. He's back to striking guys out at a higher rate, the rates that he has in the previous couple of years. And so that's good, but it'd be nice to have somebody who you can rely a little bit more on to generate strikeouts than a Brady Singer. So maybe we'll see him some more against right-handers. Mike, let's look forward. We're facing the New York Yankees. You've seen us against them in the past. What do you think about our matchup and how we match up against them?
I think we match up pretty well against them. They've had their struggles at times this year as well. The lineup is not going to be as deep as what the Orioles lineup was, which is nice. And so I think our starting pitching has a chance to really do well as well. The other great thing is, with it being the playoffs, you have the chance to match up against some of those boppers a little bit better. Now they're going to hit Judge and Soto and Stanton, but like we were just talking about, this might be the opportunity where Judge is the last hitter of an inning or whatever, and you bring in Brady Singer to face him or Giancarlo Stanton, just to get that strikeout against those guys. And then when the inning ends, he doesn't have to come back in against Juan Soto or whatever left-hander comes up after them. And so, that you can do kind of things like that in the playoffs when you have a guy like a Singer, or, even you might do that with Lorenzen at some point, And so, yeah, I think the matchup is pretty decent. And mostly I say that because of the way that we played against them in those series. I mean, we saw Alec Marsh be really good against the Yankees here at home, and that series, we looked pretty good in that series. I think we lost it 1-2. I think we might have it in New York too, but still played them tough in every single game of those series. And so I like the matchup. I like the fact that the Royals have maybe gotten better in certain components. I know the record didn't get better because the offense really slumped, but the bullpen picking it up, I think, kind of evens that out. And so I'm excited for it. It's playoffs. They're all going to be good, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think there are a couple other aspects of this matchup that are interesting. I think the Yankees they have some good starters in their rotation, but I'm curious to see who they choose to send out. I'm guessing they won't send Stroman out in the rotation. I'm guessing they will send somebody like Garrett Cole. I imagine Garrett Cole will go out. I'm curious about whether Carlos Rodon gets a shot in the rotation.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Have seen a lot of him in their careers, some of them, because he pitched for the White Sox previously. Nestor Cortez.
And we saw him earlier this year, by the way. We saw Cortez earlier this year.
Yep. it'll just be interesting to see who they choose on their roster to send out as a starter in this series. Their bullpen has been pretty good. They have a pretty solid bullpen like the Royals, but it too is very much based on like matchups and things like that. They don't have guys who you point to and say, "Oh, that dude is a dominant closer." They don't have an HDH. Let's just put it that way.
They had who was the guy that they had, and he struggled this year, so they moved him to like the 8th inning or something like that.
Are we talking about Clay Holmes? Are we talking about?
I can't remember if it was him or not. Anyway, the Royals got to their back end guys in one of the games this year too.
Yeah,
I think I was at that game. It was at home.
Yeah, so you'll also see some specialists from them sometimes, guys who are like just really to get left-handers out and stuff like that. And so it'll be really interesting just to see who gets what sort of roles. You're right about this lineup for them. It is less deep than the Orioles lineup will be. You'll get a stretch where you get to face guys like Oswaldo Cabrera or Anthony Volpe, who are just not nearly as much of a threat as, say, a Juan Soto or an Aaron Judge. But of course, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are huge threats. And so if, one guy is on in front of them and they put one out, that's a 2-run home run, And so we got to be really careful going through the heart of this lineup. It will be interesting. Let me check the schedule here.
6:30 on Saturday is the first game.
Saturday? Okay. So that Saturday gives us Thursday, Friday off. So I got to imagine then that Waka definitely goes in game 1. That means that Reagans will have had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off. Reagans could go on normal rest on Sunday if he needs to. And so they could essentially just do a 3-man rotation this time through. Now it will be someone else so it'll be like Waka versus whoever the ace the Yankees want to send out is. But they don't really have that guy right now who you're like, that dude, like this isn't Garrett Cole from 4 years ago, right? This is Garrett Cole at 33 years old, slightly less effective, sticky
still very good.
Yeah, still very good.
No more sticky stuff,
But
But the other thing to keep in mind here is it's been a while since they played, and that's always a little bit dicey in game 1 for those teams that get that bye because you haven't played for several days now. And this is baseball. So you play every day or you play almost every day. So a lot of people like that rest, and that rest can be very helpful for those guys. But pitchers sometimes can be a little off when they come back from that first one. They can be a little amped, so you really never know. The Royals have 2 playoff games under their belt already, and they're still getting 2 days off. So
yeah. And what's really interesting to me, so if Waka goes in that first game, which I imagine he will, Waka has that changeup, and we've talked about the ways in which if he misses with that changeup, it can be very easy to take out for a left-hander, right? Very short porch in right field at Yankee Stadium. So the one thing that I'll be paying attention to especially is he locating that changeup and not making mistakes with it over the heart of the plate? That's really the only thing in my mind that could really cause problems, because I can imagine a scenario in my mind where Waka comes out, pitches well, the Yankees are rusty, the Royals steal a game in game 1, and then the Yankees have to face Reagans, left-hander, right? A lot harder for lefties to do anything against him because he's a left-hander. He's working him away with fastballs. He's doing various things, change-ups underneath their bats, and you take away the threat of homering to left or to right field, and that plays to their advantage in game 2. And then they're back in Kansas City for a few games, right?
Jeff is saying game 2 is on Monday, which means
they have a game
very easily. Yeah, very easily Reagans will be able to go on Monday.
And very easily Lugo will be able to go on Tuesday. So
yeah, so that's fantastic.
We'll see. I doubt though that I'll have to look intensely at the schedule, because it'll be interesting to see whether or not Waka would be able to go in the third game. I'm pretty sure he won't. I'm pretty sure that would be too short of rest. And so they might end up going with somebody else in the third game. But we'll see.
I imagine that would be Lorenzen. I don't know. Coming off the injury.
All right.
Would it be Singer? Are they shelving Singer in case they got to use him in a start? That's fine. I'm completely okay with that.
Game 3.
The thing I'm most concerned about, though, is the offense. We have to be able to score some runs against those guys. And hopefully these couple days off, I know it's not a lot of time, but that's time for a little bit of healing and recovery for Vinny's thumb. And hopefully it calms some of these guys down so they're not swinging so much. You now have a playoff series win under your belt. Go out there and play like you can, Bobby Witt Jr. You don't have to win the game for us. Just be a part of it. And I think we can maybe see get a little bit of power surge from some of these guys that have seemingly not been able to hit for power in the last 3 weeks.
Yes, game 3 would have to either be Waka on short rest or someone else. And so we'll see if they end up having Waka go out on short rest or if they have somebody if they have somebody like Singer or Lorenzen or somebody else take a start there against the Yankees. I do find it very interesting that the Yankees will have to play at Kauffman Stadium. What a contrast in ballparks that you're playing out there. Obviously, very easy to hit home runs out of Yankee Stadium, new Yankee Stadium. Very difficult to hit home runs out of Kauffman. It will be bumping out at Kauffman, I got to imagine. And so hopefully everybody gets a chance to go out and see a game if they would like to. Mike, do you have any thoughts about this series or the Royals making it to the ALDS or anything before we sign off?
Just this. Who'd have thought we'd have been here, man?
Who'd have thought?
What a job by JJ Piccolo and these players. Fantastic. I'm elated. The city is pumped. And Royals, Yankees in the playoffs. A story as old as time.
Preston jumps in with, "What's up? We win in the World Series."
Yeah,
I think the odds are pretty high of that now. I think honestly,
just messed around and won the World Series. No biggie.
No biggie. Oh, how hilarious would it be?
How hilarious would it be? We are back-to-back NFL champions, Super Bowl champions. If we win the World Series in Kansas City this year with Bobby Witt Jr. and we got Pat Mahomes across the parking lot, nobody will be able to talk to me again.
Ever.
Yeah, you know what? I'm from Kansas City, baby. All we do is win. Get out of my face.
If we go from 106 losses to World Series champs, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose everything, and so it's gonna be one crazy night. You're gonna pick me up in a gutter somewhere. But anyway, that's all we have. Thank you so much for joining us on this live watch along. We really appreciate it. We had a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun anyway. Make sure you're subscribed to Royals Weekly Substack, royalsweekly.substack.com. The post game will come out as our episode tomorrow, but we'll be putting out articles, more midweek episodes. We'll have an episode on Monday as always. Until we see you again, be good to each other.
And go Royals.